good for the Snohomish County teams in the 4A regionals. Will start Sumner. Not really a surprise. Monroe kind of had them there for a while, but Sumner wins at 58-42 over the Monroe Bearcats.
And Monroe played really well for 3 quarters, and then Sumner outscored them 28-7 in the 4th quarter to pull away in that ball game. Of course, a couple turnovers when it was kind of desperation time turned into Sumner touchdowns late in the ball game. But kudos to Monroe. They had a tremendous year, and that's a tough place to play down there. And they played really well for 3 quarters, just could not quite finish.
That game at Sunset Chev Stadium down in Sumner, and the game at Pop Keeney Stadium in Bothell. It was Woodinville blanking Mariner last night, 27-0. Again, not surprised Woodinville wins. Surprised Mariner put nothing on the board.
Yeah, Mariner did not even get into the red zone the entire ball game. Woodinville just played a tremendous defensive game. Actually, Mariner did too. That game was very low scoring until right to the end, but Woodinville has a tradition and a lot of playoff experience, but you have to be really impressed with what Mark Stewart has done to the Mariner Marauder program in the last couple of years, and they should be very proud of their season.
Moving to the 3A regionals from last night, our local teams, local meaning from the Western Conference. I think there was the biggest surprise of the night. Bonnie Lake comes in, they're 8-2, and they beat Squalicum, who was high-flying, state-ranked, 10-0, had beat Ferndale a couple of weeks ago, and they get thumped 24-7.
Yeah, that probably was the biggest surprise to me of all the games that were played yesterday in the quarterfinals, as Squalicum looked like they were going to make a run, maybe at least to the semis, and they get bumped off right away.
And also bumped off right away, Ferndale, they lose it, doubled up by O'Day, but O'Day is really good.
O'Day is really good. They should play in that private school league that I've dreamed about.
Lincoln Apes 35, Linwood 14, kind of a dream season for the Linwood Royals, but it comes to an end last night.
Yeah, it kind of came to reality. Again, it's hard to travel down to the Tacoma schools and play in the Lincoln Bowl, and Lincoln's been good for quite a few years now, but probably the happiest I've been with any team has been with the Linwood Royals this year to have a 10-year stretch where they had 13 wins and then all of a sudden turn it around and make it into the playoffs this year. That is a great accomplishment for that program.
And probably the best game of the night, and our friend Steve Willits had a chance to call it on Sound Live Sports Network last night. It was Meadowdale 24, Kelso 20.
That was fantastic, and Meadowdale down by 2, inside of a minute to play. They have a 4th and 19 at the 48-yard line, and they throw a touchdown pass to go ahead, but then it wasn't over as Kelso drove all the way down to the Meadowdale 1-yard line with 1 second remaining, and then Meadowdale was able to hold them and ended up with that victory. What a great victory for that Meadowdale program, who get to go now into the quarters.
Meadowdale into the quarters, and Archbishop Murphy in the 2A regionals win it last night, 34-0 over North Kitsap. Only Archbishop Murphy's 5th game of the year.
Yeah, and they are really powerful. They beat an undefeated team and shut them out 38-0. So they're well on their way to perhaps a championship
and
in 2A.
They're saying that next week's game could be the 2A championship game. It's Archbishop Murphy and Tumwater.
And Tumwater has been a powerhouse forever in the 2A.
We'll come back with tonight's opening kickoff and game action. It's the Bellarmine Prep Lions, the Lake Stevens Vikings, the 4A regional playoffs. Who will play Skyview next week? We'll know coming up in just a couple of hours. You're listening to the 4A regionals right here on Fox Sports 1380.
When you shop at Ace Hardware in Lake Stevens, you not only find what you need, we make sure you get the help you need too. Hi, this is Gray Eaglestead, and I own Lake Stevens Ace Hardware with my wife Christine.
We'll greet you at the door and answer any questions you have about what you need. We're all about serving our customers and our community.
We support local high school sports and many other Lake Stevens organizations and events throughout the year.
So the next time you need something for that job around the house and a little friendly advice, come see us.
Ace Hardware in Lake Stevens. We are the helpful hardware folks.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware folks.
VideoFide creates the ultimate outdoor protection system on batteries. The OMV is a totally wireless detector camera that can be installed anywhere without wires or power cables. When the motion sensor detects an intruder, the OMV sends video alerts of what caused the alarm to a central station for immediate review and dispatch. VideoFide delivers faster police response and protects remote assets by helping law enforcement catch the bad guy.
Did you know that Speedway Chevrolet is part of the Lee Johnson Auto family? That means 84 years of serving you the LJ way. Need a truck? We have the perfect truck to fit your needs. Half tons, 1 ton, 2-wheel drives, and 4-wheel drives. Our finance specialists are here to help you, whether you have good credit or bad credit. We're just off Highway 522 at West Main Street in Monroe.
Lee Johnson Auto Family, the LJ way.
The 4A regionals between the Bellarmine Prep Lions of the South Puget Sound League and the number 4 ranked Lake Stevens Vikings of the Western Conference. With Bill Kusler and Frank Foster, I'm Tom Lafferty. Our spotter is Pat Castro. Our statistician is Joshua St. Marie. Our radio network producer is Brandon Hamilton. Todd Elvig is at the controls at our simulcast on STSPN.com. Remote consideration from Buddy Patrick in North Carolina. We'll keep you up to date with ongoing scores from tonight's high school football playoff games, plus some college football scores from earlier today as well. Bill Kusler, taking a look at the offensive and defensive numbers. Do they tell us who's going to win this game?
Well, Lake Stevens is averaging 46 points per ball game, giving up about 9. Bellarmine Prep scoring about 30, giving up about 24. Bellarmine's been in a lot more close games, which actually could help them. Lake Stevens has not played a close game. They've won every single game by 30 or more points. And so if this gets into a close tussle, Bellarmine has more experience in that type of ball game. It's going to be really interesting to see if Bellarmine can sustain drives. If they can give Lake Stevens some problems.
Game earlier today, Skyview beat Chiawana. Game over at Edgar Brown Stadium in the Tri-Cities, 38-28. So Skyview awaiting the winner of this game. You can jolly well bet that there's a member or two of the Skyview coaching staff in attendance here at this ball game. We are set to go as Bellarmine won the toss and they deferred, so they will kick off and defend the goal to our right or the west goal. Lake Stevens will be set to receive. They'll have the ball first as we get this ball game underway. The rain is kind of coming in ebbs and flows. It's kind of just a sprinkle now, but it's fairly heavy just a couple of minutes ago, and we're set to go. Jackson Grafe are deep to receive for the Blake May is deep to receive as well. So Grafe and May are deep to receive. Bryce Ben-Dixon is the quarterback, or is the kicker, and we're going to be set to go here for the Bellarmine Prep Lions. And set to go, waiting for the official whistle. And here is the approach by Ben-Dixon, and we are underway. End over end and short, fielded at the 25-yard line. Now heading cross field, 30, 35, and Michael Wilkins will take it out for a 14-yard gain on the very short opening kickoff. Put him out to the 39-yard line. That's where Lake Stevens start. Short field now, 1st and 10, Vikings.
Lake Stevens Vikings starters from tackle to tackle. Zach Kalani, Dylan Hutchison, Dylan Billings, Seth Roberts, Matt Saveo. The tight end is Austin Muir. The wide receivers, Jake Rasmussen, Hunter Ekstrom, and Anthony Hutchinson. The fullback is Blake May, and your quarterback is Connor Bardu.
Connor Bardu, 1st and 10 at the controls. They'll start at the 38-yard line. Ball in the center of the field for the Vikings, and he'll roll back to pass. Rolling right, throws into traffic, complete. Out to the 43-yard line. High in the air, grabbing the football was Anthony Hutchinson. Came back through, open, put it in between two converging defenders, a 19-yard gain, and then move the sticks. First down as Lake Stevens goes into Bellarmine Prep territory.
Starting defenders for Bellarmine Prep in the defensive line, Junior Lodavivai, Anthony Christopher, Andrew Jesse, and Josh Hannigan. The linebackers, Matthew Money, Christian Brown, Chase Chandler. Defensive backs, Isaiah Connor, Lance Joseph, Cameron Storino, and Nathan Thomas.
Ekstrom in motion. They'll run the football. Blake May up the middle. They may run all night, Bill. You saw that opening a defensive set. They only had 2 down defensive linemen and about 6 dozen linebackers.
That's right. They were running a 2-5, which is really interesting. They are really aware of the Lake Stevens short passing game. They want to try to take away those short passing routes.
We'll talk about that with Frank here. Now they're going to go with really 4 defensive ends, 2 downed defensive linemen, and a couple of linebackers. Blake May runs again, this time a little bit of open crease, and he gets down to the 35, put him to the 34, close to first down yardage. Let's talk to Frank Foster on the sidelines.
Defensively, defensively, what they're trying to do is say, okay, we're going to let you run the ball, but we're going to take away the pass, and they put some down linemen in the up position rather than have 4 across.
So it's short of first down yardage, so it's third down and less than a yard to go at the 34-yard line. They're on this side of the 34. They need to get just to the other side of the 34. They'll look to the sideline for the play flashed in from the big flash cards. Third down, less than a yard to go for Lake Stevens. Opening drive of the football game, no score. Bardew throws the pass, little extra, makes the catch, and he's going to lose a yard. He's going to make that catch at the 35-yard line and never could advance the ball forward, and that's going to bring up fourth down for Lake Stevens.
Lance Joseph came up and made the stop, and he has been in on all 4 tackles so far in this ball game. The free safety for Bellarmine has been everywhere.
So Bardew brings him up. They will go for it here. Fourth down, less than a yard to go, so no gain on that previous play. Fourth down, and just inside the 35-yard line. Not the most terrible thing in the world if you don't get it here. Double wideouts to the right, doubles to the left. Ball's at the right hash mark at the Bellarmine Prep 34-yard line. Blake May easily gets it and more at the 25, at the 20, tripped up at the 15, and finally all the way down to inside the 10-yard line. Blake May needed about 18 inches, and he got about 20-some yards all the way down into the red zone. First down, goal to go for Lake Stevens.
That happens often when the defensive line really stacks it up on a short yardage play, and once you break through that first line of defenders, you just are off to the races. That's a 25-yard gain for Blake May.
And at the 9-yard line, it's first down, goal to go for Lake Stevens, looking to score and cash it in on the opening drive. Bardew rolls left, looking to the end zone, and kind of floats it overthrown. Had one man deep and one man close by, and neither one could make it. Kind of fell in between of them. Rasmussen, probably the intended receiver, overthrown.
Yeah, Tim Jensen for Bellarmine was giving Bardew a lot of pressure. He got rid of that ball way before he wanted to.
So it's second down, goal to go now for Lake in their black jerseys, purple numbers, gold pants, purple helmets, white trim, moving from our left to the right, or the west end of Lake Stevens Stadium. On a second down, goal to go play from the 9-yard line. They look to the side, look to their wrist, get the play signaled in, and here we go. Second down, goal to go at the 9. Bardew, shotgun snap. Looks right, throws. He's going to be complete on that wheel route. Hutchinson makes the catch and is down at the 5-yard line. So gained a couple of yards, about a 4-yard gain. Hutchinson, the reception there, put him at the 5-yard line.
They love that wheel route play, and so far Bellarmine's defended it pretty well.
So third down, goal to go now for Lake Stevens. Now Bardew by himself in the backfield. Standing on the 10, the line of scrimmage is the 5, and here's the snap. Looks right, throws right. It's going to be complete and out of bounds. Not quite enough. Blake May will step out of bounds. A 4-yard gain. Needed 5 for the touchdown. So it's going to be now fourth down, goal to go, and one more time. Well, no. You're going to put 3 up, or are you going to go for it here?
Well, it looks like Lake Stevens is going to go for it. I might consider kicking the field goal and having that first drive successful, but Lake Stevens, they are not adverse to taking chances.
They will. It'll be a quarterback keeper for Bardew, and he dives it into the end zone. Touchdown, Lake Stevens. On a quarterback keeper, a 1-yard dive. Connor Bardew in for 6.
And Lake Stevens does not really like to run Connor that much, but that time in an empty backfield, he had motion going all over the place, and then he just hesitated like a little draw action and then ran in, just barely got in, but broke the plane, and so Lake Stevens draws first blood.
Brock Widman will add the extra point. Bardew, who just scored that touchdown, will hold on the point after. This drive taking a little over 3.5 minutes. Here's the kick away. It's up, and it is good. With 8 minutes and 29 seconds to play in the first quarter of action, our score, the Lake Stevens Vikings 7, the Bellarmine Prep Lions coming up. a couple of go-for-it's on fourth down during the drive, including that final 1-yard dive for Connor Bardew, and they take the initial lead here over the Bellarmine Prep Lions.
Yeah, that was an impressive drive. Lake Stevens goes 62 yards in 7 plays, 4 on the ground, 3 through the air. Finally, a 1-yard touchdown run by Connor Bardew. Brock Widman's kick is good with 8:29 remaining in the first quarter. It's Lake Stevens 7, Bellarmine 0.
That scoring update brought to you by Everett Safe and Lock, serving the greater Snohomish County area since 1971. Trusted for commercial, industrial, financial, and residential building and lock security. Visit their showroom at everettsafeandlock.com. 5108 Evergreen Way in South Everett. High end-over-end kick by Loera. It's going to be taken at the 12-yard line by Thomas. Thomas heading cross field. Now he heads up the field to 20, 25, still running 30, and out to the 31-yard line. Caught it on the near sideline and then had to run almost all the way across the field before he finally made the turn, headed upfield. Fairly decent return, put him out to the 31. It's 1st and 10, first time that the Bellarmine Prep Lions will touch the football.
And Bellarmine Prep starters from tackle to tackle, Junior Lodovivai, Andrew Jesse, Jonathan Oldham Smith, Alex Davis, and Josh Hannigan. The receivers, Dominic Golub, Thomas Connolly, and Christian Brown. The running backs, Matthew Money and Charzay Thomas, and the quarterback is Christian Moore.
And he goes under center, and he rolls back the pass on a little play action, overthrows. No, I thought it was overthrown, but it was incomplete. Sam Benke makes that catch for a 12-yard gain. Kind of went out of my view there on the field glasses, and it looked like it was overthrown, but it was underthrown from the guy that was downfield. But that's a complete pass, 12 yards and a first down.
The starting defense for Lake Stevens, Matt Saveo, Dylan Hutchinson, Seth Roberts, and Zach Kalani in the line. Michael Wilkins, Austin Calvin, and Tristan Keith, the linebackers. The defensive backs, Anthony Hutchinson, Hunter Ekstrom, Jalen Tebow, and Austin Murin.
Christian Moore now in the shotgun. He was under center the first one. Shotgun snap here. They'll run the football to Thomas. Right straight up the gut. And Sarche Thomas will get 2 yards. Put him out to the 44-yard line. Actually, put him right on the 45, so a 2-yard gain. So second down, 8 yards to go coming up here for Bellarmine Prep.
Yeah, and Thomas ran for 214 yards last week against Beamer in their victory, and I suspect that he will get a lot of carries here tonight, particularly with the weather being iffy.
As Bellarmine Prep will huddle up rather than come up to the line of scrimmage, so a little more conventional set here, and more conventional is under center will be Christian Moore, the 6'5", 185-pound senior. Double tight ends to the left. Back to pass is Thomas. Throws. It's going to be Moore, throws complete for only about a 2-yard gain. In fact, they'll give him forward progress for a 4 out to the 49-yard line. A little comeback. Christian Brown makes the catch on that wheel route for the Bellarmine Prep Lions.
And Bellarmine not afraid to go to the air. We're mostly a ground team early, but I think they realized that against Lake Stevens they're going to have to mix it up, and they've done it effectively so far in this first drive.
Third down, 4 yards to go for Bellarmine Prep in their white jerseys, white helmets, white pants, blue numbers, blue trim, moving from right to left. Their opening possession of the game, Lake Stevens with a 7-0 lead. 3rd and 4, rolling back the pass is Moore, dumps it, complete at the 50, first down, and the ball is free, and then controlled and corralled by Christian Brown. Brown is there to recover the fumble as it was caught and then coughed up. Chase Chandler caught it, fumbled it. It ends up being an 8-yard gain down to the 43-yard line. Lucky for Bellarmine Prep.
So Chase Chandler, number 2, was able to catch that, fumble the football, but an excellent play, heads-up play by Christian Brown to recover that ball for the first down. And
I'm guessing that wasn't planned.
No, but Bellarmine definitely dodged the bullet on that play.
First down, 10 yards to go at the 43-yard line of Lake Stevens. Bellarmine Prep on the move. They like to move tight ends from one side to the other. Now they go strong side right. They'll run it right, and that will be Thomas looking to turn the corner. Can't do it, and down he will go for a loss. Like we said last week a couple of times, he had the blinker on, Bill, but nobody ever got out of his way, and he got dropped for a 3-yard loss.
Boy, Anthony Hutchinson came up quickly, and he was able to get him and grab him down. Thomas is not very big, 5'10", 155, really quick, but that time was unable to get outside.
So second down, 13 yards to go for Bellarmine Prep, their opening drive of the football game. Ball at the right hash mark at Lake Stevens' 46-yard line. Double tight ends left. Now they switch them both over to the right. And now the other guy will go back in motion to this side, and they'll run the football up the middle. Thomas, little misdirection play, and Thomas will be dropped. They're going to give him a 1-yard loss, put him down to the 47-yard line, so a loss of 1. Let's go down the field to Frank Foster. Frank.
The Bellarmine quarterback started off with a bootleg, then he went to the quick slant, then he went to the fullback in the flat. So what they're trying to do is just hit the short passes to set up that run game that they like to do. One of the things that you have to be careful or be aware of when Lake Stevens has the ball, if Bellarmine stays in that defensive set, watch Connor Bardou run it more, and also Wildcat.
3rd down and 14 yards to go. Play action pass. Back to pass is Moore. Has a man down there, almost intercepted. Just about picked off as Christian Brown was the intended receiver. Anthony Hutchinson almost had a pick.
And that was in his hands. He is very disappointed, but it will bring up a 4th down. Bellarmine will be forced to punt the football, but that ball a little bit overthrown. Hutchinson way up in the air, got 2 hands on it, but could not bring it down.
And I think every defensive coach will tell you, knock the ball away, make sure it's not complete. If you get an interception, well, that's a bonus. But that time it was an interception that he dropped. He couldn't get it. Bryce Ben-Dixon also punts the football, and he will now for Bellarmine. Kind of a low snap. He fumbled it a couple of times, picks it up and boots it away, bounces at the 25, at the 20, and then takes a Bellarmine Prep roll inside the 15-yard line. So a pretty good kick it ends up being. Put him down at the 12. It'll be 1st and 10 for Lake Stevens. Their second drive of the game is coming up. Calling all Snohomish County 12s. Join the Fox Sports 1380 crew at the downtown Everett Buzz-In Steakhouse for a midseason party on Sunday night when the Hawks take on the Patriots. Watch the game on the big screen. Win great prizes. Take advantage of the food and drink specials and hang out with your fellow 12. Sunday Night Football. The Buzz-In Steakhouse at the corner of Broadway and Pacific in downtown Everett. That is tomorrow night. So 1st down, 10 yards to go at the 12-yard line now for Lake Stevens. Their second drive of the game, leading 7-0, 4:32 to go, and they're going to give it to Ekstrom on the swing around pass or swing around run, and it's going to be a loss of a yard or so. Put him down right at the 10. They're going to put him, so they're going to say he loses 10. Then as they throw the ball back, they just bonked one of the Lake Stevens players. So Ekstrom on the run, and a loss of 2 yards on the play. So 2nd down and 12 yards to go here for Lake Stevens. About the right hash mark, motion man again through the formation is Ekstrom. And here's a little shuttle. They're going to give it to Blake May. That'll be a running play, and May will get it out for about a 5-yard gain out close to the 15-yard line. So Lake Stevens kind of mixing things up, throwing everything but the kitchen sink so far at their Bellarmine Prep defense.
And Blake May, the 5-yard gain, now 4 carries for 40 yards, and he's been their main weapon here early in this ball game.
So 3rd down, 7 yards to go at the 15-yard line now for Lake Stevens. Bardou, shotgun snap. He'll roll back the pass, rolling left, sets up, fires, has a man down there, incomplete. In between a couple of defenders, a little bit too high. Hutchinson, the intended receiver, he kind of fell awkwardly and kind of holding his back hip kidney area, kind of saying, that kind of hurt the way he landed. He had to go high in the air and just couldn't bring that ball down. 4th down coming up.
So Bellarmine gets a big defensive play here, forcing Lake Stevens to punt deep within their own territory, and they should have excellent field position to start their next drive.
Yeah. Michael Wilkins to punt the football, standing at about the 1-yard line. Cameron Storino is the lone safety back here for Bellarmine Prep, standing between the 45 and 50-yard line. Whistle sounds and the flag flies prior to the snap. They're going to say a false start penalty here against, Bill, they don't punt very often. You're not used to it.
Yeah, it's particularly not in the first half. So Lake Stevens will drop back, and now Wilkins should be receiving this about 3 yards deep in his own end zone to try to kick that ball away.
So Michael Wilkins to punt the football, waiting for the snap. Here it is. The kick is away. Kind of a wobbler coming out of there. It's going to bounce to the 35-40, still rolls at the 45 to the 50, and boy, this ends up being a pretty good kick as he gets it all the way down to the 47-yard line, and that is right where the Bellarmine Prep Lions will put it in play. It'll be 1st and 10 for Bellarmine Prep, and they will start from their own 47-yard line.
That was a 43-yard kick.
And so it'll be 1st and 10 for Bellarmine Prep from the 47-yard line, and their quarterback, Christian Moore, the 6'5", 185-pound senior. He looks bigger than that. He's 6'5", but he's more than 185, I've got a feeling. Lone setback is Christian Moore behind him. Double tight ends right. They'll switch him over to the left. Double wideouts to the right. Now back in motion through the formation as they will give it and run the football to Thomas. Heads right, now heads upfield, 50, and then into Lake Stevens territory down to the 47-yard line. Let's go down the field to Frank Foster. Frank.
Tom, Lake Stevens is used to facing the big backs, but one thing that they haven't been that confronted with is misdirection. And on the last series, Bellarmine did a fake reverse with Golub, number 88. That they're not doing that just to show something. They're going to run that at some juncture in this ball game.
Second down, 4 yards to go for Bellarmine Prep at the Lake Stevens 47-yard line. Back to pass, throwing it complete and then hit immediately as Dominic Golub made the catch. They're going to give him 5 yards, needed 4, so enough forward progress to the 42-yard line and a first down for Bellarmine.
But he paid the price as Austin Murin came and just absolutely decked him right after he caught the football.
But he caught the football indeed for a 5-yard gain and a first down for Bellarmine Prep. Down 7-0, 2-2-2 to play here into the opening quarter of action at Lake Stevens Stadium, the 4A Regionals. First and 10, back to pass. 3-step drop, throw it, complete. Out the right flat, it's going to be complete to Christian Brown. Brown makes the catch for a 6-yard gain down to the 36-yard line. They like that wheel route as well.
They do, and they've got receivers running all over the field, which is interesting for a mostly running ball club. But Austin Murin was able to get out there and bring him down. But Bellarmine's got a good drive going here.
Second down, 4 yards to go at the 36-yard line of Lake Stevens. Double wideouts spread to the right side. Motion man back through the formation. Lone setback, and he's just going to throw a block because they're going to throw the pass incomplete. A little bit low and outside. An incomplete pass over at the right flat. Golub was the intended receiver. That'll bring up 3rd and 4 for the Lions.
Yeah, he was out there, and he was open, but that ball just did not quite get there.
It's a mixed crew of, mixed crew of officials. Steve Savage out of the Western Washington Officials Association in Tacoma. He is the referee. The umpire, Rob Wardell from Snohomish County. The linesman from Tacoma is Gary Tomlinson. The line judge, Jim Broughton from Snohomish County. Ken Mays from Snohomish County is the back judge as well. Those are the 5 officials appointed by the WIA to work this game. Motion man through the formation on 3rd and 4. Rolling out the pass is Moore. Now will step up and going to run the football, and he's going to pay the price, and he's going to be wrestled down. No gain. They're going to say he got a little forward progress to the line of scrimmage, and that is it. But he was slim pickings to find your way through the mass of humanity over at the right-hand side for the quarterback, Moore.
And Moore is not afraid to run the football. He had some success last week against Beamer running the ball, but that time just nothing there, and that play took a long time to develop. 4th
down, 4 yards to go here for the Bellarmine Prep Lions. Trying to get the equalizer. We're inside a minute to play in the opening quarter. No motion man this time. Double wideouts to the left. They throw it. It's going to be complete. And open field. Brown makes a catch. 25-20 down to the 15-yard line. That wheel route worked to perfection that time. That's going to be a 31-yard gain all the way down to the 16-yard line.
Tristan Keith saved a touchdown, too, as the receiver ran right past Anthony Hutchinson, and then Keith was trying to rip the ball away, but he was unable to do so.
Correction, it's a 21-yard gain, so I can hear Buddy Patrick now. 1st and 10 at the 16-yard line for Bellarmine Prep with 32 seconds to go. Handoff to Thomas up the middle. Carrying tacklers with him, 15 all the way down to the 10-yard line. That's a 7-yard gain for Sarge Thomas, the 5'10", 155-pound senior. So Thomas on the carry. So down to 15-14. That will probably be the last play of the first quarter. In fact, it will. They will just stand there and say, yeah, we're done for the quarter. So at the end of one quarter in the Class 4A Regionals, it is the Lake Stevens Vikings 7, the Bellarmine Prep Lions nothing. Snohomish County Western Conference Football, the playoffs on Fox Sports 1380.
When you shop at Ace Hardware in Lake Stevens, you not only find what you need, we make sure you get the help you need too. Hi, this is Gray Eaglestead, and I own Lake Stevens Ace Hardware with my wife Christine.
We'll greet you at the door and answer any questions you have about what you need. We're all about serving our customers and our community.
We support local high school sports and many other Lake Stevens organizations and events throughout the year.
So the next time you need something for that job around the house and a little friendly advice, come see us.
Ace Hardware in Lake Stevens, we are the helpful hardware folks.
Ace is the place
You know that Speedway Chevrolet is part of the Lee Johnson Auto family. That means 84 years of serving you the LJ way. Need a truck? We have the perfect truck to fit your needs. Half tons, 1 ton, 2-wheel drives, and 4-wheel drives. Our finance specialists are here to help you, whether you have good credit or bad credit. We're just off Highway 522 at West Main Street in Monroe.
Lee Johnson Auto Family, the LJ way.
To Lake Stevens Stadium, a very swiftly played first quarter, lots of running by Bellarmine Prep, and now Bellarmine Prep is trying to answer the opening score of the game for Lake Stevens with one of their own. They're facing a second down and 3 yards to go at the 10-yard line of Lake Stevens. Motion man through the formation, sets up to the right. They'll run the football. Thomas up the middle. Thomas gets to the 5 and dives to the 4-yard line. About a 4 or 5 yard dive by Thomas, and what that means is first and goal to go right on the 5-yard line stripe.
We're always interested in the relative strengths of the different leagues, and here Bellarmine comes in as the number 4 seed from the South Puget Sound League, and they're giving Lake Stevens everything they could possibly want.
First down, goal to go for Bellarmine Prep. Motion man back toward the formation. They'll run the football to Thomas, looking for a hole left side. He's going to get maybe a yard or so, put him down to about the 4. Let's go down to Frank Foster.
In past games that we're focused in on the offensive line of the team that's playing Lake Stevens, and what they would do is they make a little bit of contact, and then Lake Stevens was able to get off of the block and get in and make the tackle. Bellarmine is not only making contact, they're keeping that contact, and that's what's enabling them to move the ball.
1 yard, no, actually no gain, they're going to say. Second down, goal to go at the 5-yard line. Wide out, double wide outs over to the right-hand side. On second and goal at the 5, back to pass, looking to the corner of the end zone, throws incomplete, and there's a flag. Flag is going to come in. That's going to be a pass interference penalty.
That was pretty obvious. He was all over the back of the defender.
And now we've got some kind of injury, or we have an equipment problem?
Appears to. I thought it was an equipment problem.
Yeah, they're looking to tie his shoe or something. So there's a defender. He can't be there. He's got to be back in the.
Tom?
Yeah.
It appears that the sole of the shoe came off or came loose, so they're taping it.
Okay. So they're going to say, are they taking a timeout?
No.
The clock is stopped here, and it is one of the defenders lost part of his shoe, but they're going to just kind of stop play here with 11:10 to play in the first half, and just an extended time. Just a pause. We hit the pause button, and now we're going to take it off pause, and here we go. Second down, 2 yards to go at second and goal to go at the 2. Thomas, nothing there. Nothing there for Sarche Thomas. Tried the left-hand side of the line, and it was plugged up immediately, so no gain on that play. That brings up third down, goal to go. In fact, they're going to lose a half a yard. Third down, goal to go at the 4-yard line for Bellarmine Prep.
Great swarming to the football that time by Lake Stevens as they finally did get off the blocks, and they had nowhere for Thomas to go. Big play here on third down.
Third down, goal to go at the 4-yard line for the Bellarmine Prep Lions. Down by a score to Lake Stevens, looking to tie it. Christian Moore under center at the quarterback. Got 2 backs in the backfield. Waiting for the snap, he drops back to pass. Rolls right, looking. Now he's just going to loft one into the corner. Intercepted. No, incomplete. Incomplete pass, almost picked off in the end zone.
Anthony Hutchinson was the one on the coverage, although he had a couple of people over there helping him, and they just lofted that ball, kind of trying to get the receiver to jump up and grab it, but Hutchinson was able to knock it away, and it looks like Bellarmine will attempt a field goal.
So Bryce Ben-Dixon will put his tee down, and he's going to put it at about the 12-yard line. So this will be a 22-yard field goal attempt for Bryce Ben-Dixon. out of the hold of Christian Moore. Waiting for the snap. Here it is, the spot. The kick on the way, plenty of leg, gets up, and it is good. With 10 minutes and 15 seconds to play in the first half, our score, the Lake Stevens Vikings 7 and the Bellarmine Prep Lions 3. Snohomish County Western Conference football on Fox Sports 1380. Skyview defeated Chiawana 38-28, and so with that win, Skyview advances to the quarterfinals, and they are awaiting the outcome of this one, which has gotten a little tighter now. Lake Stevens leads 7-3 here, just a little less than 2 minutes into the second quarter. We'll take a look at that scoring drive here after this kickoff here. Bellarmine Prep to kick it off. Bryce Ben-Dixon, the approach. This time he drives it down, and it'll bounce at the goal line and go through the back of the end zone for a touchback. Bill, let's take a look at that scoring drive.
Well, Bellarmine drives 49 yards in 10 plays, 5 on the ground, 5 through the air, taking a little over 5 minutes off the clock. A 22-yard field goal by Bryce Ben-Dixon, and with 10:15 remaining in the second quarter, Lake Stevens 7, Bellarmine 3.
That scoring update brought to you by Espresso Avenue at the corner of Everett Avenue and Rockefeller in Everett, home of the Sour Patch Kids. Red Bull Italian Soda, open weekdays at 4:30 a.m. Espresso Avenue is a locally owned and operated business, proud to be sponsor of Everett and Lake Stevens High School athletics for more than 12 years. 1st and 10 from the 20-yard line. Blake May on the running play. Heads around the left-hand side, and it's going to be about a 7-yard gain out to the 27-yard line. We're going to call it 6 to the 26-yard line.
And May had a tremendous game last week against Federal Way, gaining close to 200 yards, and he's been effective again here early today.
Hunter Ekstrom is the fake man, but now he's going to throw the pass. Bardu will. It's going to be complete at the 35 and out to the 39-yard line, as it was caught there by Austin Murin. As Ekstrom, I don't think we've seen that play, with a motion man going, and then he kind of led the way for Bardu to roll to the right, and then he threw it over to the right for a 12-yard gain out to Austin Murin.
Yeah, the motion man brought the corner back up, and that allowed Murin to get open about 5 yards deeper.
First down, 10 yards to go. They're going to give it to Blake May on the run play. Hurdles a man at the 40, gets out to about the 43-yard line. So Blake May, nice run there. That's a 7-yard gain for Blake May, hurdling would-be tacklers along the way.
And May now with 5 carries, 47 yards.
Lake Stevens 10-0 coming into this game. Opened with a win over Stanwood Arlington. Closed with a big win, the game of the week type win over Monroe in the last game of the regular season, 42-3. Last week beat Federal Way 42-10 in the quad district game. Give it to Blake May right up the gut, and May is going to get a first down. He gets 5 yards. Blake May has become the workhorse here. Put him out close to the midfield stripe.
It's excellent work in the backfield by Connor Bardu as he faked over to the right, then brought May back to the left in a little misdirection for a nice gain. And I don't know what there's a penalty flag down that I didn't see, and they're marking it off against Bellarmine. So let's see what the call is.
A face mask penalty will be the call here against the Bellarmine Prep Lions. That'll tack an extra 5 on the end of that run. So it'll be 1st and 10 now into Bellarmine Prep territory at the 45-yard line. This time Ekstrom will carry the football. Heads around the left-hand side and gets a couple before he's knocked down at the 42-yard line. Let's go down to Frank Foster. Frank.
Bellarmine is shifting with the motion man. In other words, on that play, he motioned left, they gave him the ball. Bellarmine went that way. They've had success when they go counter to that. In other words, they motion left, go right. That's where they're catching him off. And the counter tray has also been effective with May.
Second down, 7 yards to go at the 42-yard line. Play action pass. Bardu sets up and then just heaves it down the field. Playing center field. The ball's knocked away. And then the flag comes in. Pass interference. as Hutchinson was backing up like a center fielder to catch it, and then the two defenders on either side of him kind of ran into him and each other, and they all fell down.
Yeah, the ball was a little bit short, and I don't think the defenders knew where the ball was, and as Hutchinson went towards the football, they called the pass interference penalty, so a big break for Lake Stevens. That ball was not very well thrown.
It was kind of I didn't really mean to, but pass interference.
Yeah, exactly.
So they ran into each other, and so again, we like to mention each game at least. Put away your NFL rule book. This is going to be a 15-yard penalty from the line of scrimmage, so it puts it down to the 27-yard line on the pass interference penalty against Bellarmine Prep. Big break for Lake.
Nice first down for Lake Stevens.
Via the penalty out to the 27-yard line. First down, 10 yards to go for the Vikings. Leading at 7-3 at the 8-minute mark to play in the first half. Ball at the left hash mark. Trip set, 3 wide receivers to the narrow side of the field, the near side here. 1 out to the right, and Blake May stands next to Connor Bardew in the shotgun, and here's the snap, and they give it to May. He'll run, looking to find a hole, and not going to happen. He's going to be buried by 5 guys from Tacoma. He's going to bury him. They will give him forward progress to the 25, so a 2-yard gain by Blake May.
May did a good job once he was hit and knew he was going down. He got both of those hands on the football, not allowing a Bellarmine Prep player to poke it out.
So it'll be a second down, 8 yards to go for Lake Stevens. The Vikings in their black jerseys, gold pants, purple numbers, purple helmets, moving from right to left here. Direct snap to May. He'll head up the field. May across the 25. May all the way down to the 20-yard line. In fact, nearly to the 19. That's about a 6-yard gain on the Wildcat action there on the direct snap to Blake May.
Bardew did a nice job pretending like he got the ball and was fading back to pass, and Blade just blasted straight up the middle.
So down to the 19-yard line, so into the red zone they go. It's third down and less than 2 yards to go. Bardew rolls to the right, throws, complete. It's going to be complete at the 10 to Ekstrom and gets inside the 10-yard line down to the 9. That's an 11-yard pass play to Hunter Ekstrom, and we have a Bellarmine Prep player slow to get up. As it's going to be Lance Joseph was face down there for a second, and I think he just took the brunt of Hunter Ekstrom. Bill would rather run through you than around you, by the way.
He would. He's a big guy, and he can bring him, but Joseph is okay. Joseph's been in on a lot of tackles so far for Bellarmine Prep. They would hate to lose him.
So it's going to be first down goal to go at the 8-yard line here for Lake Stevens. Connor Bardew in the shotgun. Here's the snap. Little shuttle over to Blake May. Heads to the pylon and gets to the pylon for a Lake Stevens touchdown from 8 yards away. Blake May will take it in for Lake Stevens.
They have so many different looks that they can get the ball to May, and that time it's just like a little pitch only about 3 yards away, but it's just enough of a difference that it puts the linebackers for Bellarmine Prep off their game a little bit, and he just knew that the pylon was there and was able to sneak right inside that pylon for 6.
Now for the addition of the extra point, Bardew will hold, Widman will kick it. Waiting for the snap here. And here it is. The kick is on the way, and it is good. With 6 minutes and 38 seconds to play in the first half of action, our score, the Lake Stevens Vikings 14, the Bellarmine Prep Lions 3. This is Snohomish County Western Conference football on Fox Sports 1380 and STSPN.com.
Clogged drain? Other plumbing problems? Call Action Jackson Plumbing for 24-hour service. Owned by a lifetime Edmonds resident and Edmonds Woodway grad, Action Jackson is the drain cleaning specialist. They can unclog most internal drains for only $99 plus tax. Call 425-877-5601 or visit actionjacksonplumbing.com.
Patrick, our foreign correspondent, hard at work in a hotel room somewhere on the Witness Protection Program in North Carolina, sending us tweets about a playoff game in North Carolina last night. North Edgecombe 74, Riverside Martin 56. Bill, I know you were waiting for that score.
Yeah, I was on the edge of my seat the whole time.
We'll take a look at the scoring drive here for Lake Stevens after the kick. Angelo Loera will kick the football here. He does the kickoff duties. for the Vikings. Here is the approach. High, end over end, a little short. It'll be taken at the 15-yard line, fielded at the 20. Thomas looking to head up field. He will, and then get about 5 more yards, put him out to the 26-yard line where it will be 1st and 10. Let's go down the field to Frank.
Tom, I've been watching the quarterback more when he does those rollouts, and what he's doing is he's not being aggressive at the defensive player, and so he's throwing off his back foot. I'm sure if the quarterback coach probably told him, he said, look, you got to get that guy to come after you so that you can make him make a mistake, or you can run it, or then you set up the pass, but you can't just always throw it off your back foot.
So it'll be 1st down, 10 yards to go for Bellarmine Prep, now down by a couple scores at 14-13. 6.5 minutes to play in the first half. Right hash mark at the 26-yard line. That'll cause the Lake Stevens defense to move. Now the flea flicker, back to pass. Throwing a deep ball. Moore will throw it down. It's going to be incomplete. Incomplete pass downfield. Kofi Gosser was the intended receiver, but nice play defensively down the field.
Anthony Hutchinson, he had him by about 5 yards, and he was able to make up that distance and knock the football away. Lake Stevens' previous drive, 80 yards in 9 plays, 6 on the ground, 3 through the air, took 3:37 off the clock. The final play, an 8-yard touchdown run by Blake May. Brock Widman's kick was good, and with 6:38 remaining in the first half, Lake Stevens 14, Bellarmine 3.
2nd and 10, throw the pass, wheel route complete, out to the left side, 30 and out to the 35-yard line. That's going to be about 9 yards. It's going to put him down just shy of 1st down yardage, so 3rd down, less than a yard to go coming up here for Bellarmine Prep. That scoring update brought to you by Altitude Trampoline Park. Altitude Trampoline Park in Marysville is a brand new 28,000 square foot indoor park with jumping activities, including dodgeball, battle beams, basketball, slam dunking, and fitness programs. Located east of Marysville. Go to altitudemarysville.com. Quarterback keeper here for Christian Moore. Moore will keep the football for about a 1-yard gain, but that's enough, and that'll move the sticks. And a 1st down for Bellarmine Prep. Clock is going to move here after the chains are set with 5:47 to play in the first half. And to the line of scrimmage they come, which is the 37-yard line. Left hash mark for Bellarmine Prep at their own 37. Double wideouts to the right. Motion man sets up as a slot to the right, and he'll roll out the pass. Moore looks, throws, complete. That's going to be complete. That open flat. Golub makes the catch at the 41, and Hutchinson kind of just claps his hands and said, I got to be on that guy, but that has been open all evening long so far.
Keeping the receiver in front of him, though. He doesn't want him to bust up and go long, but he closed on him quickly and got a gain, but a short one.
So it'll be 2nd down, 5 yards to go, as it looks like the rain has pretty much ceased, if it's just barely sprinkling. On a 2nd and 5 play, Thomas gets open field at the 45, 50, 45, 40, up the left sideline, and steps out of bounds inside the 35-yard line. A quick opener you kind of expected that was eventually going to happen, and Sarjay Thomas, once he saw that open AstroTurf in front of him, Billy just put his foot down to the accelerator.
18-yard gain, and all of a sudden Bellarmine Prep trying to answer back, and Lake Stevens is finding themselves in a tough tussle.
A little tough and kind of in arrears here, backing up, giving up some yardage here. 18 yards on that one. It'll be 1st down, 10 yards to go for Bellarmine Prep at the 35-yard line. Ball to the left hash mark. Double wideouts to the right. Open man downfield. He's going to throw the pass, looking to the corner, goes up over the defender, incomplete. Brown was the intended receiver. Boy, they have been working those cornerbacks for the Lake Stevens Vikings all evening long.
And they've been going after Anthony Hutchinson, who's one of the better cornerbacks in the league, and not having much success there.
He said, "Why are you picking on me? I'm good at it." And he was good at that one and knocks it away. So they'll go to the well again. 2nd down, 10 yards to go, 35-yard line. Now 1 wide receiver to the right. They'll run the football to Thomas. Tries to spin. He can't do it. He's going to be buried right at the line of scrimmage at the 35-yard line. So no gain. 3rd and long coming up here for Bellarmine Prep.
Anthony Hutchinson is one of the all-Wesco defensive backs. He and Hunter Ekstrom both made the first team all-Wesco defense in the defensive backfield. And so if I were Bellarmine, I might be looking some other direction.
Go pick on the other guy. 3rd down, 10 yards to go at the 35-yard line for Bellarmine Prep. Backs in the eye now behind the quarterback Moore, who is under center. Fake the handoff, roll back to pass. Now being chased out of the pocket, he'll run the football. At the 35-30, looks at the chains and then steps out of, got knocked out of bounds. Boy, that was right at the edge of he being hit late, but that's going to be an 11-yard gain and a first down as he'll move the sticks, a la Russell Wilson, the old Russell Wilson, and he gets the first down.
Jalen Tebu was the one that just belted him out of bounds, but not before he gained the first down. That was a heads-up play by Christian Moore, is just rolling out to his left. He was getting a big rush, but he was able to elude the first two defenders and saw that open space and was off to the races.
So it's first down, 10 yards to go at the 25-yard line. Left hash mark now for Bellarmine Prep. Looking to try to get on the scoreboard again. Thomas will get the football. Spins across the 20 and stays on his feet. Down for a 7-yard gain and goes into the red zone. Put him down at they're going to see where they drop it. I think about the 18-yard line is where they will put it down. It'll be right on the 18. So it'll be second down, 3 yards to go coming up for Bellarmine Prep. The clock moves, coming up on 4 minutes to play in the first half. Both teams with all 3 timeouts.
And Thomas, a real workhorse now, 11 carries for 41 yards for the Lions.
Second down, 3 yards to go from the 18-yard line, left hash mark. Double wideouts to the right side. They will fake it on the handoff. He'll throw the pass. Looking to the end zone. It's going to be complete. That's Brown for a touchdown. Touchdown for the Bellarmine Prep Lions. 23 yards away. Brown makes the catch. Touchdown, Bellarmine Prep.
That was a great play. Hutchison was right there, and Brown just out-muscled him for the football on that slant, and Bellarmine right back in the ball game.
What can Brown do for you? He can score you a touchdown, and that's exactly what he does off the pass from Christian Moore. And it'll be the Bryce Bendixson to kick the extra point. Christian Moore is the holder. Waiting for the snap for the addition of the point. The kick is away. Lots of leg. It's up, and it is good. With 3 minutes and 43 seconds to play in the first half of action, we got ourselves a ball game. It's Lake Stevens 14, Bellarmine Prep 10, Snohomish County Western Conference football on Fox Sports 1380.
I'm the chairman for the Texas Police Chiefs Association Alarm Committee. We talk about what this definition is and what it means to them and their response for alarms. You know, number one, it lets them truly prioritize the alarms. The alarms that don't come to them fitting that definition as a verified alarm, it will allow them to set those alarms to a priority that they probably give alarms already down there on the bottom of the call stack. But the calls that truly do merit a higher response, those get pushed to the top. Those get the response they need to actually
go on.
make
Let's go down
arrests.
to Frank Foster on the sideline. Frank.
Tom, we talked about this last week, that now this is really playoff football. The 40-pointers, those are early in the season. Now you're playing teams that are going to match you, and you got to bring your A game every night when you have a game.
Yeah, Bill, you get to the round of 16. These are everybody's good.
Yeah, exactly, and that's what we've been waiting for. This is awesome.
So waiting for Bendixson to kick the football. Here is the approach, end over end, taking it to about the 4-yard line, right straight up the field. Inside the numbers at the 10, 15, 20. Grafe out to about the 23-yard line. So Jackson Grafe on the return. First and 10 for Lake Stevens. Plenty of time, and all 3 timeouts remaining. 3:36 to go in the first half.
Bellarmine Prep drives 74 yards in 10 plays, 5 on the ground, 5 through the air, taking 2:47 off the clock. A 23-yard touchdown pass from Christian Moore to Christian Brown. The Christians hook up. Bryce Bendixson's kick is good, and with 3:43 remaining in the first half, Lake 14, Bellarmine 10.
Little screen pass to Blake May around the left side on a first down. Motors across the 25 and gets a 5-yard gain. Put him out to about the 28-yard line. That scoring update brought to you by Frontier Communications. Take advantage of their $19.99 high-speed internet offer. Go to frontier.com. So a 5-yard gain on that play brings up second down. 5 yards to go at the 29-yard line for Lake Stevens. Ball at the left hash mark. Double wideouts both ways. Just a little toss to May. Crosses the 30 out to the 31. So Blake May for about a 2-yard gain on the running play there for the Vikings. 2:56 to play in the first half. A 14-10 lead for Lake. They still have 3 timeouts remaining.
Let's see how their clock management skills are as we go kind of wind down to 2.5 minutes remaining in this half.
You got to remember how to do that kind of stuff too. But when you blow teams out all year long, you don't have to do much clock management. In fact, they will clock manage it right here to a timeout, and we will step aside with 2 minutes and 38 seconds to play in the first half. Vikings 14, Lions 10. So Much County Western Conference Football, Fox Sports 1380.
When you shop at Ace Hardware in Lake Stevens, you not only find what you need, we make sure you get the help you need too. Hi, this is Gray Eaglestead, and I own Lake Stevens Ace Hardware with my wife Christine.
We'll greet you at the door and answer any questions you have about what you need. We're all about serving our customers and our community.
We support local high school sports and many other Lake Stevens organizations and events throughout the year.
So the next time you need something for that job around the house and a little friendly advice, come see us.
Ace Hardware in Lake Stevens, we are the helpful hardware folks.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
So this battle, we're in the black and blue division here, the NFC North, between the Lions and the Vikings. And let's go down to Frank Foster on the sideline.
In the Monroe game, Rasmussen gave a signal to the bench that he had single coverage. He just now looked again back over to the bench, and he's got single coverage on this side.
See what happens here. 3rd down, 3 yards to go. Back to pass, Bardu throws. It's going to be complete out to the 35-yard line. It's a 4-yard gain. Blake May made that catch. Little control pass there, 4 yards, and he moved the sticks a first down. So if that stops the clock to move the sticks, they have 2 timeouts remaining, and they'll run the clock here at 2:30 to play in the half. Lake Stevens to the line of scrimmage, 1st and 10 at their own 35-yard line left hash mark. Bardu has May to his left here in the backfield. Fake it to him, throw the pass. It's going to be, they're going to say incomplete. He kind of bounced it, hit the ground at the 40-yard line. Incomplete pass will stop the clock.
And that's a situation where it's probably just for the best because it does stop the clock, and that only would have been about a 3-yard gain.
So the line of scrimmage is the 35-yard line of Lake Stevens. Vikings leading at 14-10, 2:18 to play in the first half. 2nd down, 10 yards to go. Connor Bardu, the quarterback. 3 wideouts to the right, 1 to the left, and now May will go out of the backfield. He's in motion, being converged on. Here's the blitz, but May is open. Heads upfield at the 35, then buried down to the 38-yard line. Only about a 4-yard gain for Blake May, but under duress was Connor Bardu.
He was. Great rush on the blitz by Bellarmine Prep, and May would have probably done better to gain a yard or 2 less and to skip out of bounds, but he was unable to do that.
Less than 2 minutes to play here in the first half. 3rd down and 6 yards to go. They're taking their sweet time to get the play coming in now, and they get the change in personnel. And so waiting for the snap. Now they put a man in motion out of the backfield out to the left. Bardu drops back. Looking right. He's going to throw right. Going to go for a deep ball into traffic. It's going to be incomplete. Outstretched fingertips and incomplete. Could not make that catch. Hutchinson was the intended receiver. Stops the clock with 1:27 to play in the first half.
A combination of a couple things, Tom. A combination of excellent coverage by the defensive backs of Bellarmine Prep, but Connor Bardu has just not been quite on in his long passing game. His short passing game has been right there, but with the wet weather or whatever, the wind, I don't know what it is, but it just has not quite been there on the longer pass routes.
4th and 6 at the 39-yard line. That means punting time. Michael Wilkins to kick the football. High snap over his head. He has to go back and find it. Now he picks it up and he's going to run the football and out to the 20, and he's going to still on his feet trying to go back, and he's going to go all the way back. See where they give it for forward progress. It was a high snap. I thought maybe he had time to kick it, but it's going to be turned over on downs. Give it to Bellarmine Prep here with 1:17 to go, and it's back at the 17-yard line.
And they're whistling. There's a Lake Stevens Viking down, and the players were frantically gesturing for the coaching staff to get out there. I don't know. I don't have the number on it.
I think it's Wilkins himself, number 3. I think that's who it is. Frank, is that what you're seeing down there?
I can't see the number, but I'm going to try and find out who it is.
Yeah, I think it is Wilkins, who was the punter, and he is down on his back there inside the 15. So we will take a break. 1:17 to play in the first half. Vikings 14, Lions 10. Back after this.
That was beautiful. Basically, yeah, it's great.
Wilkins, the punter, went back, had a high snap, went back and tried to kick the football, and then we were mentioning maybe he had time to actually do a rugby style to get rid of it, but he didn't. He got chased around and ran around a little bit, and then he was hit hard, and he is being attended to down on the field. Let's go down to Frank Foster, see what he sees from the field level. Frank.
Yeah, Tom, it appears to be a leg injury, and they're just now setting, I don't know if it's an air splint or whatever underneath him, and I know Dr. Anderson just came in off from the field, and I think they were trying to get a cart out here.
So they are, tending to him down on the field. The medical staff, the training staff here at Lake Stevens Stadium.
Things have come to a halt. Both teams have left the field while they're waiting, and this may take a little while.
Let's run through some of the scores from earlier today in high school football. And the 4A regionals, Bothell beat Moses Lake 31-13. We mentioned Skyview defeating Chiawana 38-28. So Skyview awaiting the winner of this game between Lake Stevens and Bellarmine Prep. Kamaikan beat Gig Harbor 45-0. Lakes beat Southridge 34-17 in the 3A regionals. Moving to the 2As, Linden over Black Hills 31-21. West Valley of Spokane defeated Franklin Pierce 44-41. It was Ellensburg 38, Eatonville 6, and Cedar Woolley beat Pullman 28-25. In the 2B regionals, PL Willapa Valley beat Mabton 36-13, and Toledo beat Ilwaukee 35-14. Those are a look at the scores that have already occurred in high school football in the state of Washington. Let's take a 1-minute break, and we will come back. 1:17 to play here in the first half of action. Lake Stevens 14, Bellarmine Prep 10. This is Snohomish County Western Conference football on Fox Sports 1380 and STSPN.com.
Did you know that Speedway Chevrolet is part of the Lee Johnson Auto family? That means 84 years of serving you the LJ way. Need a truck? We have the perfect truck to fit your needs. Half tons, 1 ton, 2-wheel drives, and 4-wheel drives. Our finance specialists are here to help you, whether you have good credit or bad credit. We're just off Highway 522 at West Main Street in Monroe.
Lee Johnson Auto Family, the LJ way.
Wilkins, the punter for the Lake Stevens Vikings, has been down on the field here. This has been about almost 5 minutes now, and they've now brought the John Deere cart out there, and they're going to load him onto that cart and take him off. They put an air cast onto his leg, and the training staff out there attending to him, and they will take him off the field here. Let's see if Frank Foster has anything new down on the field as well. Frank.
When Dr. Anderson left the field, he was on the cell phone, so I was assuming that he was calling for an aid car. They are putting him into the gator to take him off the field, and typically what they'll do is they'll take him, or an aid car will meet them at some point and then take it from there.
Usually there's aid cars on site anyway before, because I think that may have changed, Bill, the last few years when every team has a doctor on staff pretty much, or in attendance, and plus the trainers. But usually the firemen just like to watch the game.
Exactly.
Flash the lights when the team scores.
Well, this is unfortunate. Obviously must be a fairly serious injury if they're taking this much time before they move him. And it'll be interesting to see how this affects Lake Stevens going into the locker room at halftime in a close ball game. But sometimes this can just amp you up and you want to get that victory for your fallen comrade, and then other times it's kind of a downer. And so it'll be really interesting to see how the Lake Stevens Ball Club reacts at halftime.
Coming up on Friday, 3 to 6 with the Fish makes history as we broadcast on FM for the very first time. We're flipping the switch and turning on the FM simulcast during the Fish Show live from the Lodge Sports Grill on Mukilteo Speedway. The Fish Football Friday with special menu items and giveaways. That's this Friday, the Lodge Sports Grill on the Speedway in Mukilteo. They've loaded now Michael Wilkins onto that cart, the John Deere cart, and he is on the back with a heavy air splint on his left leg. And the training staff, and I'm guessing that's Mom, is, I don't care whatever happens to you, you yell for Mom. That's right. Yeah, I don't care about anybody else. Where's Mom? And so they're going to take him off the field.
The good news is that he's sitting up, he's conversing with everyone, so.
Yeah. And he just gave a thumbs up to everybody, and so off he will go, and both teams now will come back out onto the field. And we'll have Frank see if he can maybe get some information during halftime, which is 1:17 to go. Meanwhile, back at the game, Bill.
Just got an aid car that's just arriving down on the left-hand side, so they'll cart him down there. And as he goes along in front of the home crowd, gives him a victory sign, and to his teammates and to the crowd.
At a CenturyLink field, they take you through the tunnel. There's no tunnel here.
No.
You're riding on the track in front of everybody. So, so down here by the, if you know the setting, by the Lutheran church is where they will bring the 8 car in and then load him there. So here we go. 17-yard line, first down, 10 yards to go for Thomas and the Bellarmine Prep Lions. He's going to get stacked up as he got to about the 13-yard line. So that's a 4-yard running play for Sarshay Thomas right up the middle. Brings up now second down and 6 yards to go. Clock is moving, a minute to play. Inside a minute now. Lions still with 3 timeouts remaining. Back to pass is Moore. Looking at the end zone. Looking to take the lead. Throws it down there. It's going to be incomplete and overthrown. Christian Brown, the intended receiver.
They obviously called 2 or 3 plays. They had plenty of time to talk about that as Michael Wilkins was being attended to. And now with the incomplete pass, it stops the clock with 50 seconds remaining here in the first half. But Bellarmine Prep threatening to take the lead.
Third down, 6 yards to go. They have to worry about a first down. They can get that inside the 3-yard line. So from the 13-yard line, back to pass. Looking to the left corner of the end zone. Under duress, throws it in the corner. It's going to be complete and flags down. They may say offensive pass interference as Benke made the catch, but did he push off? And let's see what the officials say. They're coming back. Offensive pass interference. Oh, baby.
Well,
wow.
Benke was well covered, and then all of a sudden he was open.
Yeah.
I didn't exactly see the push, but sometimes you gotta, when you're battling in there, you gotta take a chance. He took the chance and got caught, so that'll move the ball back now.
Ouch.
All the way back to about the 28-yard line.
Frank, what did you see down there?
He gave him a stiff arm, but he didn't have the ball.
Okay, that's that. So, boy, this is costly because now suddenly it's third down and 21 yards to go, all the way back at the 28-yard line. So 15-yard penalty, play action pass, setting up, throwing it down the middle. It's going to be incomplete. Brown, the intended receiver, he's looking at the official. There is a flag down. He looked for a flag. He got the flag down at the 9-yard line.
And two Lake Stevens defenders just ran right into one another, and one of them is not getting up. And the other one has taken his helmet off and is kind of shaking it off. They really collided. Austin Murin is on the ground. It looked like Ekstrom was the one that collided with him on the play. And Another official's timeout, and
there's not enough training staff. They're all still with Michael Wilkins, loading him into the ambulance. Slam the door and get back over here, because they do have a player down. They have not cleared the field of players. Yeah, let's see. Murin is down on the field. Let's go down to Frank.
Well, the good news is he's getting up, and he may have just got the wind knocked out of it, because both he and Ekstrom did collide on that.
So he is getting up under his own power. He will come off to the near sidelines, but that was a penalty. I think defensive holding penalty. So that's going to move the line of scrimmage now to the 17, right back to about the 18-yard line, the original line of scrimmage. Third down, 10 yards to go, 37 seconds to play into the first half. Still with 3 timeouts remaining is Bellarmine Prep. On the left hash mark at the 18-yard line, play action pass, looking toward the end zone. It's going to be complete. Not in the end zone, though. Brown made the catch for a 10-yard gain to the 8-yard line. Actually, they put him at the 7, and that's going to be enough, I think, to move the sticks. Or are they going to say 4th down? Is he short? It's going to be 4th down and less than a yard to go at the 7-yard line.
Big decision for Bellarmine Prep. Their kicker, Ben Dixon, has a really strong leg, so they'll have to decide now on 4th and inches whether they want to kick the field goal or whether they want to go for it. 28 seconds remaining in the half.
So they called their first time out of the half. So, Coach Frank Foster, you going to put 3 up, or are you going to try for the 7?
If it was me, I would take the 3. But they're spending so much time talking over there, it appears they're going to go for it.
I agree with Frank. I think you put the 3 up the way Bellarmine has been pretty dominant in the latter stages of this first half. They got the momentum going. They will be receiving the second half kickoff as well. I think I would put the sure 3 up.
Nothing's for sure, though.
Well, that's true.
So they are discussing it out there. Lake Stevens really has almost no dog in this fight. They're either going to kick it or go for it. Looks like they are going to go for it as en masse they run out of the field. Christian Moore under center. He will keep the football and try to drive his way forward. I think this second surge is going to get him a first down. See where they spot the football. The side judges both come in, and they say, yes, it is. They will move the sticks. He will be a 1-yard gain inside the 7-yard line, and a first down goal to go now for Bellarmine Prep. 23 seconds to go in the half, and they will call another timeout.
So they'll have time for 2 or 3 cracks at it before they end up having to make a field goal, but that was just, they got right behind their huge left guard. That's Junior Lodavaivai, 6'2", 295, and they just drove forward and were able to get that first down.
As the Washington Husky game is over, we welcome those who have been listening and watching the Washington Huskies as they lose today to Southern Cal. So we welcome you to our broadcast here with 23 seconds to go in the first half. The Lake Stevens Vikings with a 14-10 lead over the Bellarmine Prep Lions, but Bellarmine Prep now facing a first down goal to go at the 7-yard line as they come onto the line of scrimmage, and here we go. The quarterback is Christian Moore. He is under center. The lone setback is Sarjay Thomas. They will give it to, no, they will fake it to him, and then he will go down for the sack. No, he got rid of the football. I think they're going to say he was down. They're going to say that he was down. They'll stop the clock here. He was down back at the 15-yard line. And Tom Try is saying, run the clock. Why are we stopping the clock? They did call a timeout.
So there's 13 seconds left, and that's big. From there, you're talking about a 31, 32-yard field goal, whereas before you were talking maybe a 20-yard field goal. So that was a big difference on that 9-yard sack.
So 9 yards. He, at the last second, got rid of it to Sarjay Thomas, but they say that Moore's knee was already down, or at least in the grasp, and dropped at the 16-yard line with the final timeout called here by Bellarmine Prep. Let's go down to Frank.
On that offensive set, the Bellarmine came out, and I was taking a look at who had who, and Golub and Brown were both covered by Ekstrom and Hutchinson. On the other side, the weak side, you had Chase Chandler, and I think that's who they were trying to go to. They're going to overload to the strong side and then go back to the weak side.
So they're going to go for it here. So it's not really going for it, but it's 13 seconds to go. They have to score. Back to pass, looking to the end zone, dumps it right side, incomplete pass, brings up third down with 8 seconds to go.
Ekstrom got his hand in front of Christian Brown and knocked the ball away. Brown has been the go-to guy for Bellarmine, has 6 catches for 73 yards, including that touchdown catch earlier. And now with 8 seconds left.
8.3 seconds to go.
If you're going to want to try to kick a field goal, you better make sure you get rid of this ball in a hurry.
Probably one shot at the end zone, see what happens. Third down, goal to go at the 16-yard line. As Moore takes the snap, drops back. Look into the end zone, fires down there, incomplete. Ball a little bit overthrown. Brown, the intended receiver, like every wide receiver worth his salt, he always says, "Where's the flag? Where's the flag?" But they do that from the National Football League all the way down to Pee Wee now.
Yeah, there was a little bit of a bump, but not enough for a call to be made. Ekstrom on the coverage.
So now fourth down and field goal with 3 seconds to go to pull Bellarmine Prep to within 1 point. Down 14-10 here, 3 ticks of the clock left to go in the first half. So out of the hold of Christian Moore, Bryce Ben-Dixon from the 23-yard line. This is a 33-yard field goal, left hash mark. The kick on the way, plenty of distance. It is up, and it is good. And that will be the final play of the first half of action in this 4A regional. And it's the Lake Stevens Vikings 14 and the Bellarmine Prep Lions 13. A close ball game here at halftime. Frank Foster out there to catch up with Brian Jensen, the head coach of the Bellarmine Prep Lions, as they will make their way into the halftime locker room. Bill, we got us a football game.
And we certainly do. As Bellarmine goes just a 1-yard drive after the tackling the punter for that big loss, 7 plays, just 1 yard, but they end up kicking the field goal. It's good by Ben Dixon, 14-13, Lake over Bellarmine.
And we're going to hear from the head coach here right now, down to Frank.
Thanks, Tom. Coach, your reaction to the first half?
Hey, what a great football game. Lake Stevens sure a heck of a club.
Your running game is been kind of sporadic. The big arm quarterback, he's impressive, but focus some adjustments on get more running game in the second half?
Yeah, man, we'd like to try and be balanced. That makes us, the best that we can be, but we're going to do what they're giving us too.
Thanks, Coach. All the best.
All right, thanks, guys.
Okay.
Tom?
Thanks very much, Frank Foster, with Brian Jensen, the head coach of Bellarmine Prep. That scoring update brought to you by Everett Community College. More than 19,000 students a year choose Everett Community College. Go to everettcc.edu and make your choice today. Stay close. Go far, Everett Community College. We've got a look at the scoring coming up here at halftime, plus a look at the college football scores, high school football scores, and lots more, and all the stats as well. We are at halftime in the Class 4A Regionals. It's the Lake Stevens Vikings 14, the Bellarmine Prep Lions 13. Snohomish County Western Conference football on Fox Sports 1380 and STSPN.com.
Blake May 5 catches for 23 yards, and Austin Murin 1 catch for 12 yards. So 68 yards passing, 72 yards rushing, 140 total yards for Lake Stevens. Bellarmine Prep has 10 first downs, but just 7 for Lake Stevens. The Lions whistle for 3 penalties for 35 yards. Lake Stevens whistle for 3 penalties for 30 yards. Tom?
Thank you very much, Bill. Let's take a look at the scores in the 4A regionals as we're getting down to the final 8, and this is the final one for the final 8. This game that we're watching right here. Last night, Sumner beat Monroe 58-42. Woodinville beat Mariner 27-0. Camas beat Graham Kapowson 55-6. And Skyline beat Eastlake 31-14. That's all the upper part of the bracket. So next week, Sumner against Woodinville. Camas takes on Skyline. Lower part of the bracket, waiting for the outcome of this game between Bellarmine Prep and Lake Stevens. Earlier today, it was Skyview over Chiawana, game over in Pasco, 38-28. Bothell beat Moses Lake 31-13. And last night, Richland beat Sunnyside 41-0. So the bottom game on the bracket in the round of 8 is Bothell against Richland next week. Skyview awaiting the winner of this game between the Lions and the Vikings. In the Class 3A, looking like this. Last night, Bonnie Lake beat Squalicum 24-7. Kamiakin beat Gig Harbor 45-0. The Lakes Lancers earlier today beat Southridge 34-17. And Eastside Catholic beat Timberline last night 39-21. That's the upper part of that bracket. So it's Bonnie Lake against Kamiakin. Eastside Catholic will take on Lakes. In the lower part of the bracket, a game that got underway concurrently with ours, Peninsula taking on Mountain View. Last night, Meadowdale beat Kelso 24-20, so the Mavericks are still alive. Lincoln beat Linwood last night 35-14, and it was O'Day over Ferndale 42-21. So the lower part of the bracket has Meadowdale, and Meadowdale will take on the winner of the Peninsula Mountain View game, and it will be Lincoln against O'Day. Let's go down to the field. Frank Foster with the head coach of the Lake Stevens Vikings, Tom Try. Frank?
Thanks, Tom. First of all, how's Michael Wilkins? Any update?
Other than he's got a broken leg, that's all we know. He was taken away in an ambulance, so that's the only update I've gotten so far.
I'm sorry to hear that. Who will step in as punter?
We won't punt.
Okay. So, next question. Did they do anything to surprise you?
Not really. No. What we saw on film, that other than the quarterback's really good. We knew he was good, but he's been on target tonight, and their O-line's doing a good job of pass prone, and so they've had some time to throw the ball, and he's found some targets. But really, we got to stop their inside run game. That's where it starts, and then make them into more predictable down and distance situations. And right now, they're getting too many yards on first down.
Final question, Coach. The defensive set that they have, did that surprise you?
No. Again, we've seen that funky 2-5-4 on film, so it's not that it surprises us. The speed that they are getting off blocks and rallying the football, though, they're doing a heck of a job of open field tackling right now. And bottom line is we just got to hold our blocks a little bit longer and do a better job of setting up those blocks, and then maybe breaking a tackle or two. Right now, I don't think we've broke a tackle yet tonight. They're doing a great job open field tackling and getting off blocks, and that's why they're here. They're a good team.
Thanks, Coach. All the best.
Thank you.
Tom, back to you.
Okay, thanks very much, Frank. One more score we will pass along. Archbishop Murphy last night beat North Kitsap 34-0. So Archbishop Murphy into the round of 8 in the 2A football playoffs. We will take a break. Second half kickoff is coming up. It's 14-13. Lake Stevens beating Bellarmine. It's a close game right here on Fox Sports 1380.
Did you know that Speedway Chevrolet is part of the Lee Johnson Auto family? That means 84 years of serving you the LJ way. Need a truck? We have the perfect truck to fit your needs. Half tons, 1 ton, 2-wheel drives, and 4-wheel drives. Our finance specialists are here to help you, whether you have good credit or bad credit. We're just off Highway 522 at West Main Street in Monroe.
Lee Johnson Auto Family, the LJ way.
When you shop at Ace Hardware in Lake Stevens, you not only find what you need, we make sure you get the help you need too. Hi, this is Gray Eaglestead, and I own Lake Stevens Ace Hardware with my wife Christine.
We'll greet you at the door and answer any questions you have about what you need. We're all about serving our customers and our community.
We support local high school sports and many other Lake Stevens organizations and events throughout the year.
So the next time you need something for that job around the house and a little friendly advice, come see us.
Ace Hardware in Lake Stevens, we are the helpful hardware folks.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware folks.
Up here for the Lake Stevens Vikings. Bellarmine down by just a point, and they get the football to start this second half. The smoke is finally starting to clear from when the Vikings took the field. So here's Loera to approach the football. They kind of onside high loft kick it, and it's going to be down at the 40-yard line. So went high in the air, not really an onside kick, but it's going to be down by O'Connor. So it'll be 1st and 10 for Bellarmine Prep, and they started really, really good starting field position.
It was kind of interesting. They're trying to drop it into a zone where there were no Bellarmine Prep Lions available, and O'Connor made a nice job just getting his eye on the football with a bunch of black jerseys coming after him and getting down on the ground.
1st and 10 for Bellarmine Prep. They start from their own 40-yard line, down by a point. Under center is Christian Moore, the quarterback. He turns around, and he'll hand it off to Thomas, heads over the right-hand side. Hit as he got to about a 3-yard gain, put him out to the 43-yard line. Frank Foster, it was a very simple answer to your question. What do you do if you have to punt? We're not going to punt.
I like that. That's great. That's great positive thinking. We're just going to keep it. We're going to score. Why have to kick it?
Or like Federal Way did last week.
Yeah, you go for it.
Going for it 4th and 1 on your own 10-yard line.
2nd down, 7 yards to go. Bardu was actually the punter to start the season as well. So 2nd down and 7 yards to go at the 43-yard line. Running play again. Thomas looking to turn the corner around the left-hand side, find some opening, and now he gets out to the 50-yard line until he's finally brought down. But that's going to be enough to slide down to the 49-yard line of Lake Stevens. That's an 8-yard gain to move the sticks. It's 1st and 10 for Bellarmine Prep.
Zach Kalani was the one that finally made the stop, and he kind of pulled him up over his body and kept him off the ground and wrestled him forward for a couple of extra yards. But Bellarmine Prep looks energized coming out of the locker room, Tom.
From the 49-yard line, left hash mark, right in front of us here. Sideline to the left, the Lake Stevens sideline here on the near side. Double wideouts to the right side, the wide side of the field. Out of the Wildcat, it's going to go to Brown. He's going to keep it. Thomas. No, check it is Brown. Brown, who kept it, head around the right-hand side. One's 13, one's 31, and it's going to be a 1-yard gain. Actually, they're going to give him forward progress all the way down to the 47-yard line. So a couple of yards there for Christian Brown out of the Wildcat.
So Bellarmine Prep giving Lake Stevens just one extra look, one more thing to worry about.
So the ball now moves to the right hash mark at the 47-yard line. We're just underway. Second half of action. A 14-13 lead for Lake Stevens. They'll run it to Thomas again, and Thomas will be hit hard as he gets to the line of scrimmage and then falls forward, carries a couple of would-be tacklers with him for a 2-yard gain, put him down to the 45-yard line. 3rd down coming up here for Bellarmine Prep.
He runs really hard for someone that's only about 150 pounds.
So 4 for 9 are the Bellarmine Prep Lions. So Brown has run it, Thomas has run it, and it's a 3rd down play. 3rd down, 6 yards to go from the 45-yard line. Ball to center of the field, 2 wideouts to the left side. Lone setback, back to pass. He throws, it's going to be incomplete. Brown was the intended receiver, that wheel route, except he kind of led him a little bit too much, and he also had a defender closing fast.
That ball was not very accurate. Had he put the ball where he needed it to go, it would have been a 1st down.
Well, unlike Lake Stevens, Bellarmine will punt on 4th down, 6 yards to go at the 45-yard line. They'll have to punt the football, so a very promising drive stalls at the 45 of Lake. Ben Dixon to kick it. That's Bryce Ben Dixon Waiting for the snap. It's back. The kick is away. Kind of short foots it because he'd like to put it into a coffin corner situation, and he will do just that. And it will roll to a stop at the 13-yard line. So that's where the Lake Stevens Vikings will start at the 14 now. First down, 10 yards to go. Coming up Friday, 3 to 6 with the Fish makes history. We broadcast on FM for the very first time. We're flipping the switch and turning on the FM simulcast during the Fish Show live from the Lodge Sports Grill on Mukilteo Speedway. It's a Fish Football Friday with the special menu items and giveaways. That's this Friday at the Lodge Sports Grill of the Speedway in Mukilteo. First and 10 from the 14-yard line. Blake May, a little bit of open field. He gets an 11-yard gain for a first down. But Bill, he was off to the races, but somebody grabbed hold of the tail end of his uniform. Tuck it in, young man. Tuck it in.
He was stretched out about 3 yards behind him, and then he was able to break away. But a nice first down run for Blake May to get Lake Stevens out from the shadow of their own goal line.
May again tries the right side, and he will get about 5 yards as he just busts it out to the 30-yard line. Let's go down the field to Frank Foster. Frank.
Tom, just in case the listeners thought Tom Try was serious about not punting, he will punt the ball if he has to. He's not going to pull a federal way. And second of all, when he made that statement, he's saying, hey, let's do what we're doing right now and just go all the way down and score.
Works for everybody, I think, in the whole building. Second down, 5 yards to go, 30-yard line. Blake May runs. Blake May gets a first down. Blake May gets out to the 40-yard line, and then it's stacked up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 4. Let's go. 1, 2. Two guys weren't in on the tackle. It was just easier to do the two guys that weren't involved rather than the 9 that were.
Yeah, you're right, but he got a nice 10-yard gain. So Blake May 3 carries of 11, 5, and 10 yards here to start off the second half. It's obvious that Lake Stevens wanted to come out and establish the run here early in the third quarter.
And they still go with that 2-5-4 defensive presence. And here comes the blitz as they're going to pass, and now he's going to pitch it over to Ekstrom on the left-hand side. Ekstrom found a little bit of a crease, gets out, and a flag comes in at the end. At the 45-yard line, he got a 5-yard gain, and then the flag came in. They're way at the end of that. You almost think face mask in that situation, or maybe you're going to have a hold. Yeah, it's going to be a hold. As they backed up the flag to about the line of scrimmage, and that'll be a holding penalty against Lake Stevens, and that will hurt. 10 yards from the point of the infraction. It's going to put him back inside the 35-yard line.
Yeah, holding penalties are always tough, and so instead of a 2nd and 5 situation, it's going to be first and looks like about 19.
Yeah, first and 19 for the Lake Stevens Vikings back at the 31-yard line. Ball at the left hash mark. They're going to send 3 wideouts to the right side. Bardu is by himself in the backfield. So empty backfield. And here comes the shotgun snap. No, falling down with it. As Blake May came, slipped, and fell down. Everybody, I think, just has a chuckle about it. As he fell down and said, well, do you ever want to get away? Now he's not sure which side of the quarterback he's supposed to be on. Now they're inside 5 seconds on the play clock. He'll get the playoff. Looking to the right, it's going to be a quarterback keeper. Bardu is going to head upfield to the 41 and step out of bounds. So he got positive yardage, about a 10-yard gain out to the 41-yard line. That was the darndest play you've seen in a long time, wasn't it?
He was auditioning for a Southwest Airlines commercial.
So he just ever want to get away? As he went across through the formation, he just fell down.
Yeah, he tried to stop, and then his feet slid out from under him, and then he got up, and he was kind of shaking his leg off, and then they took forever to get the play going, but they got it off in time, and Bardu ends up getting a nice 10-yard gain.
Looked like he was walking on the deck right after it snowed. You know, those kind of things where you just fall down. Here's a swing pass around the left-hand side. May will head upfield after making the catch and get a couple of yards, about a 1-yard gain, in fact, out to the 43. Big third down play coming up here for Lake Stevens.
Yeah, those short pass plays that ordinarily they're able to break some tackles and go long. You know, Coach Trice talked about that when he came out from halftime, how sure tacklers the Bellarmine Prep is, and Lake Stevens not breaking the tackles that they usually do in those short patterns.
Lake Stevens 2 of 6 in third down conversions in the first half. Facing a 3rd and 8 here. Throws it incomplete. Nice play defensively downfield. As breaking it up, was Cameron Stervino, and he broke up that would-be pass. So it looked like it might have been complete. It wasn't going to be. Fourth down here.
It will be indeed fourth down and about 8. And so, with Connor Bardou being their backup punter, they have a few little options because they're lining up like they're going to go for it.
Fourth down, 8 yards to go at the 42-yard line. And now they will come up to the line of scrimmage. They were hoping to draw them offsides, but you got to do that twice because it's 8 yards to go. You're not going to get a first down even with a defensive encroachment here. And now Bardou will drop back further, and he will punt the football. As he's back only about 7 yards, so gets his foot to it. High, end over end, but short. Fielded high in the air and grabbed there at the 45-yard line.
Kofi Gosser, boy, that's a brave play as the defender was right there, but he jumped way up like trying to grab a rebound, and that ended up being a very short punt of about 12 yards total. And that's what happens. Your first-string punter is taken off the field, and you go to your backup punter, and that gives Bellarmine Prep excellent field position to start their second drive of the half.
Second drive of the half, about where the first drive of the half started, but that one stalled about 15 yards later. First down, 10 yards to go for Bellarmine Prep, starting from their own 46-yard line. They'll throw the pass, looking at downfield, has a man down there. It's going to be almost intercepted. Broken up downfield and almost picked off there. Hutchinson was there, had the ball, but kind of bounced off of him. But the main thing is knocked the pass away, so it can't be complete.
And the ball was pretty close, but the defensive coverage downfield for Lake Stevens has been excellent. Bellarmine's had more success passing the ball when it's been the short, kind of the slant in routes, the short to intermediate routes, but have nothing going on the long routes.
46-yard line, left hash mark. Second down, 10 yards to go. Run the ball to Sarche Thomas, who will try to back his way for a yard, maybe 2, put him out to the 48-yard line. Bellarmine Prep opened the season with 2 wins over Rogers of Puyallup and Lakes, then lost by 7 to Olympia in week 3, then 3 wins in a row with wins over Emerald Ridge, Curtis, and South Kitsap. Lost to Sumner. Everybody's lost to Sumner. 21-3, and then lost to Graham Kapowson. And then last week beat Todd Beamer 17-2. Beamer took a 2-0 lead. We thought we were watching the 9th game of the World Series on that one. So it's third down, 8 yards to go. Ball at the left hash mark at the 47-yard line. Play action pass. Looking downfield, throws. It's going to be complete. The ball is complete. Great coverage, but still threaded the ball in there, and it was going to be caught by Brown. He came back and got the football, and that'll move the sticks, an 8-yard gain.
It's going to be really close where they marked the football. They may have to measure this, as Brown had to come back for the ball. That was the only way he was going to be able to catch it, but he originally was beyond the marker, but when he came out of bounds, they're going to say.
They're not going to measure it. It's going to be, they've put 1 on the down marker, but it's fourth down. Quarterback keeper, and he's going to fall forward for a first down. They're going to get him down to the 43-yard line. So Bellarmine Prep did the smart thing, went for it very quickly, and then the quarterback keeper will move the sticks now for a fourth down gain. First down now.
Well, Christian Moore, he was a sandwich as he went in there. The running backs just were shoving him in the back, and he was getting as Moore ended up getting the first down. And you're right, Tom, that quick count before the defense is quite ready, and he gets the first down in the quarterback keeper.
At the 43, rolling out the pass. He throws. It's going to be incomplete, leading Brown a little bit too much. Incomplete pass. Let's go down the field to Frank Foster. Frank.
2 quick things. Number 1, sometimes they don't even make a count. The quarterback just goes up and just taps the center, and it's a quick snap. So and gets that first down. They don't wait around. I thought that was a very good coaching call. Number 2, that Kofi Gosser who caught the punt, he was met about 2/3 of the way across the field from one of the coaches. What are you doing?
So second down and 10 yards to go here for the white-clad Bellarmine Prep Lions. Dropping back to passes. Moore throws it back against the grain. It's going to be caught and no gain there. Kofi Gosser made that catch. What are you doing with that one? It's going to be -1 as Moore kind of went to the right, turned back against the grain for everybody, and then threw that little strike, but he's going to lose a yard, brings up 3rd and 11 for Bellarmine Prep.
Lake Stevens' defense, well, both teams playing excellent defense here, and just kind of a battle of being in the middle of the field, and Bellarmine kind of winning the battle of field position a little bit, but a huge 3rd down play here.
3rd down, 11 yards to go. Inside 5 minutes to play in the 3rd quarter. Back to passes Moore. Gets some time. Now he's flushed out of the pocket, throws it into traffic, and is that going to be complete again? A 10-yard gain, but is that going to be enough for a 1st down? See, and Frank Foster, you're saying no, it's not? Is that what you're saying?
Exactly, 4th down.
So 4th down here again. I feel like I'm watching the Seahawks and the Buffalo Bills. Every time they need 11 yards, they get 11.1 yards, and that will be, Frank, I call you a genius in the open every week, and they just gave him a 1st down.
Well, I'm really surprised that Tom Tri didn't ask for a measurement. They're talking to Jim Broughton right now over on the Lake Stevens side, say, hey, wait a minute.
Yeah.
This is exactly the type of game that Bellarmine loves to play. Just grinding, keeping the ball away from the other team's offense.
Shotgun snap, actually a direct snap to Thomas, who heads around the right-hand side of the Wildcat, and Thomas will get about 3 yards. Excuse me, it was Brown. It was Brown who got it. Brown down to the 30-yard line, so a gain of about 3 yards.
So Christian Brown is 1-3, Thomas is 3-1, so they.
And I have dyslexia, so it's a perfect set. So we're down to 3:45 to play here in the 3rd quarter. The 4A regionals, Skyview waiting in the wings to play the winner of this game next week. Here's a pass on a 2nd down play. Brown makes this catch, and he will fall forward to the 22-yard line. That's an 8-yard gain, and no question this time it'll be a 1st down for Bellarmine Prep.
Christian Moore now 14 of 25 for 127 yards for Bellarmine Prep, and they put the ball in the air a lot more than we've expected.
Brown made that catch for a 1st down. He's kind of become Mr. First Down. So from the 22-yard line of Lake Stevens, it's going to be a Wildcat again. Both Brown and Thomas are in the backfield. It's going to be Brown who's going to keep it around the left-hand side. Open field, 10-5, and touchdown. Wildcat, 22 yards. That's going to be Christian Brown. Touchdown, Lions, and Bellarmine Prep takes the lead.
He just went around the left-hand side. They got that set up. The fake took the Lake Stevens away, and he got all the way to the sideline, and then he was just about 6 inches away from the sideline as he ran and got the end. Great crease and blocking over on the left-hand side as he went in for 6 points.
Wait, I just felt like I was in church because it really, really got quiet in this building.
It did indeed. Is this the first time Lake Stevens been behind this year?
I think so. Yep. I can't imagine that they've been down. Waiting for the addition of the extra point. It's up, and Bryce Ben-Dixon puts it through with 3:07 to play in the 3rd quarter. Our score now, the Bellarmine Prep Lions 21 and the Lake Stevens Vikings 14. Snohomish County Western Conference Football, Fox Sports 1380.
VideoFide creates the ultimate outdoor protection system on batteries. The OMV is a totally wireless detector camera that can be installed anywhere without wires or power cables. When the motion sensor detects an intruder, the OMV sends video alerts of what caused the alarm to a central station for immediate review and dispatch. VideoFide delivers faster police response and protects remote assets by helping law enforcement catch the bad guy.
Tell me what you said during the break.
Well, they had a 5-point lead, and a touchdown is going to get them 20, them being Lake Stevens. I was surprised they didn't go for 2 points because a touchdown and an extra point, and you're going to lose 21-20.
Yeah, so for some reason, I said 21, but I was just thought they hadn't put up the 1 yet, but it is a 20-14 lead for Bellarmine Prep. Lake Stevens set to get the football.
Bellarmine Prep has run off 17 unanswered points after being down 14-3.
Here is the approach by Ben-Dixon, the high end-over-end kick, pretty deep this time, taken at the 4-yard line. Grafe at the 10, 15, 20 up the middle, 25, 30 inside the numbers at the 40, still on his feet, the 50, and down at the 45-yard line. Just exactly what the physician wrote that prescription out for. Hey, we need a really, really good return by Grafe. They got it out to the 45-yard line of Bellarmine Prep.
The Bellarmine Prep's drive, 54 yards in 8 plays, split evenly, 4 on the ground, 4 through the air, taking 3 minutes and 40 seconds off the clock. A 22-yard touchdown run by Christian Brown. Bryce Ben Dixon's kick is good, and with 3:07 remaining in the third quarter, it is Bellarmine Prep 20, Lake Stevens 14.
Blake May on the running play on 1st and 10 from the 45-yard line, gets about 4 yards down to the 41-yard line. That scoring update brought to you by Allen Erickson Dental Office in Arlington. Let Dr. Erickson, a sleep advantage in Smoky Point, help you get the sleep you need and deserve. Dr. Erickson specializes in dental treatment of sleep apnea. Find out more at sleepadvantagesp.com. So 2nd down and 6 yards to go. Throw the pass over the right-hand side. It's going to be complete to Hutchinson. 40, 35, stutter step at the 30, still on his feet, 25. Nice run down to the inside the 20-yard line. Hutchinson hauled that in, and just as nicely as you please, just blitzed his way right down the field for a 21-yard gain.
That was a great block by Hunter Ekstrom on the outside to spring him free.
And now it's going to be 1st and 10 for Lake Stevens as they lose a lineman who comes off. Looks like he may have a stinger or something because he is over to the training table. We'll get a report on that. Zach Kalani over off the field, so a replacement in there. 1st and 10 from the 20-yard line. Direct snap to Blake May, heading around the right-hand side, hit hard and high down at the 15-yard line. That's a 5-yard gain for Blake May. Now into the red zone go the Lake Stevens. They don't like being behind.
They don't indeed. Blake May now 16 carries for 106 yards. He's gone over the century mark.
2nd down, 5 yards to go at the 15-yard line for Lake Stevens. To the line of scrimmage they come. 3 wideouts to the left, the wide side of the field. Rolling out the passes, Bardu throws it back, though, through the middle and kind of threaded the needle for a 4-yard gain down to the 11-yard line. Hutchinson made that catch in traffic, brings up 3rd and about 1.5 yards, 2 yards or so to go. They're going to put him down at the 12-yard line, actually the 11-yard line, so it'll be 3rd down. We'll call it a long yard to go here for Lake. Minute 24 to play here in the third quarter. Bardu by himself in the backfield, shotgun snap, rolls to the right, throws to the right, complete, and down, and then the ball's fumbled into the end zone. It went high in the air, but did he have it? He does! Touchdown! Touchdown, Lake Stevens! And now here's Bill to explain exactly what happened on that one.
Well, I didn't see who made the catch, but Hunter Ekstrom was the one that recovered the fumble, the high fumble into the air. So the pass went over. The receiver was hit. The ball went flying into the air, and Hunter Ekstrom in the back of the end zone was able to hang on to that fumble recovery for a touchdown for Lake Stevens.
So Ekstrom got the touchdown.
He scored the touchdown, but he wasn't the one that got the pass completion. He scored the touchdown on the fumble recovery.
But if the pass was complete in the end zone, or was it in the end zone yet? I don't know. It's hard to say. The ball's on the way, but what's most important for Lake Stevens fans is that they have the lead again. And just exactly what we said. Lake Stevens 21, Bellarmine Prep 20, Snohomish County Western Conference Football, Fox Sports 1380.
When you shop at Ace Hardware in Lake Stevens, you not only find what you need, we make sure you get the help you need too. Hi, this is Gray Eaglestead, and I own Lake Stevens Ace Hardware with my wife Christine.
We'll greet you at the door and answer any questions you have about what you need. We're all about serving our customers and our community.
We support local high school sports and many other Lake Stevens organizations and events throughout the year.
So the next time you need something for that job around the house and a little friendly advice, come see us.
Ace Hardware in Lake Stevens. We are the helpful hardware folks.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware folks.
What? Okay, let's go down to Frank. Frank?
It was Austin Murin who caught the first pass, then it was knocked loose, and then Hunter picked it up. But it was Austin Murin, not Hutchinson. I thought it was Hutchinson, but they just told me down here it was Austin Murin.
So Murin gets the initial catch, fumbles, Ekstrom gets the touchdown. Is that what you're telling me?
That is correct.
Okay. All right. We'll go with that. Barring, we'll see what the NFL office says later in the week. So 21-20. So whatever it was, it's a lead now for the Lake Stevens Vikings, and here is the approach by Loera. It's going to kick, be taken at the 15-yard line, heading upfield. Brown eludes a man at the 25 and gets out to about the 27-yard line. Right back down to Frank Foster. What did you see on that one?
The pass originally was caught. He was heading into the end zone. He took a really hard hit. The ball just popped up, and Hunter Ekstrom happened to be in the right place at the right time. Touchdown, Vikings.
Did he get hit before he went into the end zone or
Yes.
after he broke the plane? Before?
No, before.
Okay. So before he went into the end zone, that's the reason they're going to give Ekstrom the touchdown. And the Vikings fan says, who cares? We lead 21-20. But it's a minute to go in the third quarter. And it's a 1st and 10 at the 27-yard line for Bellarmine Prep. But the flags fly first. I think this is going to be a false start penalty against Bellarmine Prep. Well, one of the Bill's strangest plays you're going to see, and we're going to get all the information all filled out. Did we do a scoring drive? Not yet. We're still
working on it.
That was a weird play.
Yeah, it was, but we'll take it. We'll definitely take it. I'd rather be lucky than good.
1st and 15 for Bellarmine Prep at the 22-yard line. Little shift on the defense, shift on the offense. Back to pass is Moore. Dumps it off. It's going to be complete to Thomas. And then, boy, he almost eluded it. He got back to the original line of scrimmage, so about a 5-yard gain. But I'll tell you what, there weren't many black shirts around him, and he got tripped up, and then it would have been off to the races. But he did get tripped up and stopped there. They're going to put him officially a 4-yard gain to the 26-yard line.
So the Lake Stevens drive went 45 yards in 5 plays. Hunter Ekstrom fumble recovery in the end zone. Brock Woodman's kick is good. Lake Stevens 21, Bellarmine Prep 20.
Thomas around the right-hand side on 2nd and 11. Heads upfield, gets outside the numbers, and then gets swept off his feet. Kind of fell awkwardly. About a 7-yard gain out to the 35-yard line. That scoring update brought to you by Russell and Hill Attorneys. Professional, personal, and proven attorneys. Go to russellandhill.com. So after the 7-yard gain, it's 3rd down and a yard to go for Bellarmine Prep, and they brings us to the end of the third quarter. Vikings 21, Lions 20. This is the playoffs on Fox Sports 1380 and STSPN.com.
VideoFide creates the ultimate outdoor protection system on batteries. The OMV is a totally wireless detector camera that can be installed anywhere without wires or power cables. When the motion sensor detects an intruder, the OMV sends video alerts of what caused the alarm to a central station for immediate review and dispatch. VideoFide delivers faster police response and protects remote assets by helping law enforcement catch the bad guy.
Third down, 1 yard to go for Thomas. Boy, he got hit the line of scrimmage, and I don't think he got it. He got a no-gainer there. That's going to bring up 4th down. No gain of the play. They handed it to Thomas, and it was a stone wall that was – Donald Trump's wall went up suddenly right there at the 36-yard line. So 4th down. I've left Bill speechless. You hit the wall right there. Like, okay, 33 years, that's it. 4th down and a yard to go. They're going to – Ben Dixon will punt it, or will he? 4th down and a yard to go at the 36, and they do. They put it back, and he puts his foot to a pretty good punt. Fair catch made at the 32-yard line. So that is where it'll be 1st and 10 for the Lake Stevens Vikings. Frank Foster, we got ourselves a ball game.
We sure do, and boy, I'll tell you, tomorrow both these teams are going to spend some time with ice and sitting in the jacuzzi because they're really hitting down here.
Are you inviting us over to the jacuzzi at your place, Frank?
I wish I had one.
So 1st and 10 for Lake Stevens. Wouldn't they like about an 11-minute drive to put points on the board? 1st and 10 at the 33-yard line. Little shuttle to Blake May. Tripped up as he got to the line of scrimmage. He'll fall forward for about a 3-yard gain out to the 36-yard line. So gain of 3 for Blake May.
I'm still stunned. Sorry.
by the Donald Trump or by the the play in the end zone. That was weird. Yeah. So 2nd down and 7 yards to go. Right hash mark now. Motion man out of the backfield. Looking, throwing a deep ball down the left-hand side. Flag down, and it'll be incomplete. Flag down, though, back at the 50-yard line.
There was a little bit of holding. They were trying to get the ball to Rasmussen, and I think he got grabbed onto right at about the 48-yard line. So that should go against Bellarmine Prep and should give Lake Stevens a 1st down.
So we should have a defensive holding penalty here. It will be a hold, against Bellarmine Prep. So the Steve Savage is the referee out of Tacoma. Rob Wardell, the umpire out of Snohomish County. Gary Tomlinson from Tacoma is the linesman. Jim Broughton, Ken Mays, the line judge, and the back judge out of Snohomish County. So when you get to the state games, it is a split crew. The referee and linesman come from the visiting team. The home team provides the umpire, the back judge, and the line judge. And so here we go. I'm not sure who the replay official is tonight. Todd Helvig's got it back here. We can watch the replay. So 1st and 10 for Lake at the 46. Faking the blitz. Will they come? They will, and that'll trip up Blake May. But only a 1-yard gain for Blake May in the running play. Down to 10:30 to play in the football game. A 1-point lead for Lake Stevens, 21-20.
Lance Joseph was the one that came in on the blitz, and he's the one that made the tackle on a nice play, just 5'7", 156. A lot of these Bellarmine players are not very big. They got a lot of guys in the 160, 170 range weight-wise and well under 6 feet tall, but they are quick and they are tough.
2nd down, 9 yards to go. Ball in the center of the field at the 46-yard line. Bardu back to pass. Has a lot of time, and now he's being chased out of the pocket. And down he will go inside the 30-yard line. Absolutely no one open downfield. And he had all the time in the world, Bill, but found nobody that he could get the ball to.
Yeah, Sam Benke finally came in and made the stop. A 17-yard loss on the quarterback sack. And that time, at some point, you just got to throw that ball away. Huge sack. Big play for the Bellarmine defense. And Lake Stevens looking at a 3rd and, about 25 or so?
About a $12 cab ride here on this one. 3rd and 25 yards to go. 3rd and 25 back at the 31-yard line. They need to get to the 44 on the other side of the 50. That's how long it is on a big, huge 3rd down play. Motion man out of the backfield. Bardu is being blitzed. He throws the wheel route's going to be complete. Ekstrom heads upfield at the 40, eludes him at the 45 and downed right there. So didn't get it all back, got a whole bunch of it back. 14 yards on the gain out to the 45-yard line.
So now how much of a gambler is Tom Try with a 4th and 11 at their own 45-yard line, leading by 1?
Without a punter, with Bardu, who just barely got the last one away.
Kind of changes your thinking when you don't have your first-string punter anymore.
So they are going to go for it here. 4th down, 11 yards to go at the 45-yard line. Connor Bardu out of the shotgun, going for it on a 4th and long play. Back to pass. Sets up in the pocket, throws down the right side, incomplete. Overthrew his man, incomplete pass. Turn it over on downs. Murin was the intended receiver. Turnover on downs at the 45-yard line of Lake Stevens. 1st and 10, Bellarmine Prep.
So this gets very interesting. Bellarmine Prep trailing by 1 and excellent field position to start this drive. And Connor Bardu has just not been as accurate as we've seen him earlier in the season.
Of course, he's had a bunch of guys from Tacoma right in his face, too, the whole time. So 1st and 10, 45-yard line. Wide out to the right side is Brown. Wide out to the left side, the short side of the field. But they'll run it to Thomas up the middle. Thomas at the 40, tripped up as he gets to the 36-yard line. So Sarche Thomas, about a 9-yard gain. Let's get down the field to Frank Foster.
You know, I'm still mulling over the going for it and the pass play that they called. If you're going to do that, you're going to sacrifice the kick, then try just getting the short pass and getting some yardage rather than trying to do what he did, because you're right, Tom, he has not been successful with that.
So 2nd down and 2 yards to go at the 37-yard line. Back to hand off to Thomas, heads to left-hand side, gets a first down, then kind of turns and spins his way down for a couple of more. That's a 4-yard gain down to the 33-yard line. 1st and 10 for Bellarmine Prep, looking to put it into the end zone and take the lead back from Lake Stevens.
Sarche Thomas now 20 carries for 80 yards.
So the line of scrimmage is the 33-yard line. It's on the left hash mark, and it's 1st and 10 for Lake Stevens. Slot man right. They'll go run it to the right. Thomas, now he thinks otherwise and probably should have stayed going to the right because he went it straight up the field. He's going to get a 0, and then taking a big wicked shot was Christian Moore, and he is slow to get up, and now he's whacking himself in the side of the helmet trying to shake the butterflies. He took a big hit as he let go of the football.
He did indeed, and then the running back ended up just getting blasted by Austin Calvin.
So 2nd down, 10 yards to go at the 33-yard line. To the line of scrimmage they come. Still trying to shake the cobwebs out is Christian Moore. 2nd and 10 under center. Fakes the handoff, rolls back the pass, being chased out of the pocket. Now he's going to tripped up, but he throws the football. It'll be complete inside the 20-yard line and down to the 15. Thomas is there to make the catch. Unbelievable. He was falling down. He was in the grass, but just about, and then he flicks it out there for an 18-yard gain, and a first down into the red zone goes Bellarmine Prep.
That was just a really strong throw as he's running away from traffic, going to his left, and just before he gets down, he fires it, and a great play on the ball was made by Sarche Thomas to bring that ball in.
From the 14-yard line, 1st and 10. Give it to Thomas. Thomas again tries the middle. It's not there. Nice play defensively. They're going to go -1 on that one, so a 1-yard loss for Thomas.
And they are within Bryce Ben-Dixon field goal range already, trailing by 1. That's going to be a factor as well as the clock continues to wind down.
6 minutes to play in the game. A 1-point lead for Lake Stevens. Bellarmine Prep football, 2nd down, 11 yards to go at the 15-yard line. Under center is Christian Moore. Play action pass, looking to the end zone, firing down there, has a man, touchdown! Christian Brown hauls it in. Touchdown, Bellarmine Prep from 15 yards away.
And the defender for Lake Stevens over there just fell down on the cut by Brown, and Bellarmine Prep goes up. Now it'll be interesting to see if they do indeed go for 2, leading at the moment by 5.
Let's go down to Frank.
Tom, to add more concern here, they've been working on Dylan Billings, the starting center, down here right behind me.
Yeah, we saw players coming off earlier, so here we go. Looks like they will. Well, they're in a huddle now, is Bellarmine Prep. Will they go for 2? Yes, they will. Up to the line of scrimmage they come. Under center goes Christian Moore to go for 2 and get a 7-point lead. Motion man through the formation, sets up as a slot to the right. He'll roll back to pass. Looking down there, going to the corner of the end zone. He got it. 2-point conversion is good. And the lead moves out to 7 points for the Bellarmine Prep Lions. We'll take a break with 5:41 to play. Lake Stevens down by a touchdown, 28-21 on Fox Sports 1380.
Did you know that Speedway Chevrolet is part of the Lee Johnson Auto family? That means 84 years of serving you the LJ way. Need a truck? We have the perfect truck to fit your needs. Half tons, 1 ton, 2-wheel drives, and 4-wheel drives. Our finance specialists are here to help you, whether you have good credit or bad credit. We're just off Highway 522 at West Main Street in Monroe.
Lee Johnson Auto Family, the LJ way.
Well, if you're worried about the Washington Huskies losing and Clemson losing, Iowa beat Michigan tonight 14-13.
Oh, wow. Big shakeup in the rankings, huh?
Lake Stevens trailed only once before tonight, and that was to Jackson back in the early part of the season. They beat Jackson 49-19, but that was in week number 5. Thanks to Brandon Hamilton for passing along that info. So here is the approach, and 3 timeouts and 5:41 for Lake Stevens to come down and try to tie it up. Here's the approach, end over end and short. It's going to be fielded. Fair catch there at the 32-yard line. Austin Calvin did that. He maybe had a little bit of space to head upfield, so it'll be 1st and 10 for the Lake Stevens Vikings. Down by 28-21 count with 5:41 to go. They come up the line of scrimmage. We'll take a look at that scoring drive here. Bill has it.
I do. 45 yards in 6 plays, taking 3:32 off the clock. A 15-yard touchdown pass, Christian Moore to Christian Brown. 2-point conversion pass good from Christian Moore to Thomas Connolly. And with 5:41 remaining in the ballgame, 28-21 Bellarmine Prep.
Blake May on the handoff right straight up the middle at the 35-40 and all the way out to the 44-yard line. That's an 11-yard run. Little crossbuck action inside, and it'll be an 11-yard gain for Blake May and a 1st down for Lake Stevens. 5:35 to play in the game. 3 timeouts remaining. Down by a touchdown. Ball at the left hash mark at the 44-yard line. Connor Bardew, the quarterback. He will keep it. He'll head upfield at the 50, 45, dives for a 1st down all the way to the 43-yard line on the quarterback keeper of 13 yards.
And that was just a nice fake. That's a play we haven't seen a lot of as he powers forward for that 13, just faking it into May and then going straight up the middle. Great blocking that time on the left side of the offensive line.
I'd almost go back to that exact same play as they are kind of spread out there defensively. 1st and 10 at the 43-yard line. Ekstrom in motion. They will give it to May. He heads over to the right side. May gets to the 40, and then he escapes at the 35, 30, down the right side, 20, 10, 5, touchdown, Lake Stevens. 43 yards. Blake May looked like he was stopped at the line of scrimmage, and then he escaped, headed around the right-hand side, went outside the numbers and into the end zone for a Lake Stevens score.
He was hit once. He was hit twice, driven back about 5 yards, and then he just kept those legs churning, going over the right-hand side, right across the sideline in, and Lake Stevens 1 point away from tying this ball game up.
So it will be up to Brock Widman to tie this ball game. Connor Bardew to hold it and put us into a tie. It is 28-27 now. Lions with the lead. Snap, the spot, the kick on the way, it's up, and it is good. Don't you dare go away. 4 minutes, 50 seconds to play in the game. Regulation time. It's the Vikings 28, the Lions 28. So Much County Western Conference Football, Fox Sports 1380.
When you shop at Ace Hardware in Lake Stevens, you not only find what you need, we make sure you get the help you need too. Hi, this is Gray Eaglestead, and I own Lake Stevens Ace Hardware with my wife Christine.
We'll greet you at the door and answer any questions you have about what you need. We're all about serving our customers and our community.
We support local high school sports and many other Lake Stevens organizations and events throughout the year.
So the next time you need something for that job around the house and a little friendly advice, come see us.
Ace Hardware in Lake Stevens. We are the helpful hardware folks.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware folks.
Stevens 28 for Bellarmine Prep. 4 minutes, 50 seconds to play. And now it's going to be Bellarmine Prep's chance to drive it down the field. It'll be up to the Lake Stevens defense to try to hold them. We take a look at that scoring drive.
And that drive goes 67 yards in just 3 plays, all on the ground. A 43-yard touchdown run by Blake May. Widman's kick is good, and with 4:50 remaining in the ballgame, we are all tied. Lake Stevens 28, Bellarmine Prep 28.
That scoring update brought to you by the Lake Stevens Ace Hardware Store. Ace is the place for the helpful hardware folks. Stop by and visit Greg and Christine Eaglestad at the Lake Stevens Ace Hardware Store.
I love that store.
Loera kick. Kind of a wobbly one, taken to the 15-yard line. 20, Thomas gets out to the 25, to the 26 or so. 26, 27 is where Bellarmine Prep starts this drive with 4:44 and 3 timeouts remaining. Let's go down to Frank.
We've said this before about Lake Stevens. The mark of a good team is the ability to overcome adversity, and that's what they do time after time. Are we looking at OT?
We might be. So here we go. 27-yard line, left hash mark. 1st and 10 for Bellarmine Prep. It's going to be a direct snap here. And it's going to be Brown heading to the left. Brown looking to turn the corner. He does, and then spins out of bounds as he gets across the 30-yard line. That's about a 5-yard gain on that Wildcat, a 5-yard gain for Brown.
And that's the same play that they were able to score on that 22-yard touchdown run earlier in the ball game. That time they pick up 5.
So stops the clock at 4:37 to go. A 28-28 tie. Lake Stevens trailed only once before tonight. That was to Jackson back in week 5. 2nd down, 5 yards to go. Now under center is Moore. Motion man through the formation. They're making noise. They're going to hand it off to Thomas up the middle. Thomas trying to carry a couple of tacklers with him. He's going to get a couple of yards. Only 2 on the carry. He's going to come up shy of the 35-yard line. Needs a 37 for a 1st down. So 3rd down, 2 coming up here for the Lions.
Huge play defensively for Lake Stevens. They would love to get the ball back here.
Clock is moving, 4:10 to play. Bellarmine is 5 of 13 on 3rd down conversions. Ball at the left hash mark. 2 wideouts to the right. Under center is Moore. Give it to Thomas, looking upfield. Not going to get it. He's going to be dropped. No gain on the play. No gain at the 35-yard line. Big, huge play defensively for Lake.
That was a great play for the Lake Stevens Vikings, as Seth Roberts was the one that came in and just brought him down, and Bellarmine will punt the football away. Lake Stevens should get great field position on this exchange.
Clock is moving, 3:33 to play. 4th down, as they almost were caught with too many men on the field. 4th down and 2 yards to go. The punter is in. He puts his foot to it. High, kind of wobbly. It's going to be fielded at the 35. Rasmussen heads upfield at the 40, outside the numbers, 45, 50. Up the right side, 45. Stays in bounds at the 40, gets down to the 35-yard line. Now, I think they say he stepped out of bounds at the 40-yard line. Tom Try and the coaches and the players say, we'll take that. If he stepped out of the 40, that's just dandy. We'll take it right there. 40-yard line of Bellarmine Prep. 1st and 10, Lake Stevens.
37-yard return as Rasmussen took it inside about the 35, and he got to the outside, and all of a sudden he was out to the races and just barely stepped out of bounds.
So from the 40-yard line, 3:11 to play, a 28-28 tie. Ball at the right hash mark at the 40-yard line of Bellarmine Prep. Shotgun here. Here's the snap to Bardu. Throws the pass, right flat, picked off on the return at the 50, 40, up the left side, 30, 25, and down to the 20. That's Kofi Gosser on the interception, and the celebration begins on the far sideline for the Bellarmine Prep Lions. Pickoff.
That was absolutely perfect timing by Gosser as Bardu gets the snap, looks back, quick pass, and he just steps right in front of the receiver, and then he is off to the races, finally being brought down deep within Lake Stevens territory at the 20-yard line. And they're, again, pretty close to Bryce Ben Dixon field goal range.
First turnover of the ball game, and it's a big one. Given to Thomas on 1st and 10, heads upfield, not very far. He flag down. He absolutely got lambasted as he got back to the line of scrimmage. But we have a flag down as well, and the preliminary indication is going to be a hold against the Bellarmine Prep Lions. Let's go down to Frank.
Well, I tell you, this is just a up and down game, because here you go, 37-yard punt return, and then all of a sudden the first play they pick off, go the other way. But nice thing, Bellarmine is helping Lake Stevens out by doing some dumb things, i.e. holding. Lake Stevens said, hey, keep it up. We love it.
They're going to wind the clock here with 2:50 to play. I'm not sure whose side the clock is on. I don't know. So 1st down and 26 yards to go for Bellarmine Prep. Motion man, under center is Moore. Drops back, play action. Looking, It goes left. It's going to fire. It's going to be complete back to close to the original line of scrimmage. They say he stayed in bounds. The catch was made by Golub, and he gets down to right around the 21-yard line. They will wind the clock. They say he stayed in bounds.
11-yard gain, so they got part of it back, but the clock kicks down, and again, they're pretty close to field goal range. They do not want to take a big loss here.
Second down, 12 yards to go at the 23-yard line, 22-yard line, left hash. At the Lake Stevens 22, under center is Christian Moore. On a 2nd and 12 play, motion man. That's everybody over to the right side. They'll fake the handoff and roll back the pass. Dumps a little pass. It's going to be complete. And then tripped up at the 20-yard line at the line of scrimmage. It's going to be Chandler who makes that catch. Only a 1-yard gain. 3rd and 11 coming up here for Bellarmine Prep.
I know Bellarmine Prep, they don't really have to get a first down, but they would really love to get 5 or 6 yards to get well within field goal range.
Down a minute 36 to play in regulation. A 28-28 tie. 3rd down, 11 yards to go at the 21-yard line. Taking a lot of time getting the play from the far sideline. Finally, Christian Moore comes into the huddle, and they break the huddle. They're checking the play clock. A minute 20 to play. 5 seconds on the play clock. Man in motion through the formation on 3rd down. No, there's going to be too much time. Too much time.
That is a big penalty here. That's a huge 5 yards.
You know, that's coaching staff. They didn't give him the play fast enough. Let's go down to Frank.
Tom, about 7 seconds ran off the clock.
After
the flag, they continued to run.
They're going to not do anything about it, so a minute 5 to go. Clock is stopped here after the penalty. So 3rd down. Boy, they're not field goal range now.
Nope.
3rd down, 16 yards to go.
They really need about 10 or 12 yards to get into field goal range here.
So 3rd and 16. Motion man through the formation. Back to pass. Looking, pressure, throws it down there. It's got a man. No, incomplete. Brown was the intended receiver, but he wasn't sure where the ball was. As Christian Moore took a shot, and then he helped up a Lake Stevens Vikings who gave him that shot, helped him off the turf. 4th down, 16 yards to go.
Yeah, Moore had to get rid of that ball. There was a great rush on, and he was rushing out. He got rid of it way before he wanted to, and just was hoping that he could figure out where Brown would be by the time that ball came down. So 4th and long, and they are going to try the field goal. Well, I don't know if he has the range for this one, but they're going to give it a go.
They're going to put it down at the 33-yard line. This will be a 43-yard field goal attempt. The snap, the kick on the way by Ben Dixon. It is going to be short. Short and no good. You just about had to go for it there and go for the kick. You just hope it goes through.
Oh, yeah, I agree with the call, definitely. But now Lake Stevens with 54 seconds remaining, can they come up with a big play here? Or if not, we'll be in overtime.
They have 3 timeouts. Yeah, let's go back down to Frank. Yeah.
Tom Try was pleading with the officials to put 6 seconds back on the clock, and they just gave him the deaf ear. 6 seconds did run off, and that could come back to hurt them if they get a drive going here.
And that's the home timekeeper, too. 1st and 10 from the 20-yard line after the missed field goal. Back to pass is Bardu. Pressured, throws. Complete over the middle at the 25-30. Still running at the 35 at the 40. May out to the 42, out to the 43-yard line. They'll stop the clock to move the chains. A 23-yard pass play right straight up the gut.
That's just that little inside screen where they let the defenders come in on them, and then they just pop the pass right over the top, and that's what they've done.
Timeout called by Lake Stevens. Give a chance to catch your breath. Calling all Snohomish County 12s. Join the Fox Sports 1380 crew at the downtown Everett Buzz-In Steakhouse for a midseason party coming up tomorrow night when the Seahawks take on the Patriots. Remember, another big game tomorrow. Watch the game on the big screen, win great prizes, take advantage of the food and drink specials, and hang out with your fellow 12s. Sunday night football, the Buzz-In Steakhouse, corner Broadway and Pacific in downtown Everett. So let's set it up. 1st and 10 for Lake Stevens. Line of scrimmage will be their own 43-yard line. 45 seconds to go. A 28-28 tie and they have 2 timeouts remaining. Is that about it? Does that set it up?
Very nicely done. Yeah, they still have time, to try to run the ball maybe once, but everything else is going to have to be up in the air.
Let's quickly get a comment from Frank here.
That was the first time I've seen them run that middle screen, and it really is an effective play call because Bellarmine is sending their linebackers and the down man.
So 1st and 10, back to pass Bardu. Has some time, throws it to the sideline here. It's going to be escaped at the 45-40. Down the left-hand side, 30. Still on its feet at the 30. Rasmussen down to the 25-yard line and down there. Nice shifty move. He made that catch, saw the defender out of the corner of his eye, just kind of danced around him, and then headed downfield inside the 25-yard line. Timeout called by Lake Stevens.
Rasmussen has been making plays like that all season long, but I believe this is his first catch of the game. Catches the ball, breaks 1 tackle, goes on, makes a move on the second guy, breaks another tackle, and ends up going 45 yards for Lake Stevens, and Lake Stevens in business here with 32 seconds remaining.
In regulation time, they have 1 timeout remaining after this timeout called here. Frank, let's go back down to you.
At this time,
how's your heart?
Hey, it's exciting down here, I tell you. With 32 seconds, it's longer than a lot of people think that they could actually do a draw, some sort of run to set up the pass. And I'll tell you, for me, I would go to Hunter Ekstrom.
Yeah, I think Hunter Ekstrom's your go-to guy, isn't he, Bill?
Certainly is, especially if you're going to fumble into the end zone.
Oh, yeah.
We probably wouldn't plan to do that again, however.
So 32 seconds to go, a 28-28 tie. The line of scrimmage is the 22-yard line, left hash mark. Connor Bardu calls the signals. Rolls to pass, looking upfield, being chased, fires for the end zone. Touchdown, Lake Stevens! Rasmussen hauls it in from 22 yards away. Touchdown, Vikings!
What a tremendous pass by Connor Bardu as he set up and he had to wait, and then Rasmussen broke open right at the end. He fires the ball, perfectly placed for a touchdown. 80-yard drive in 3 plays. Is that what the doctor ordered?
Wow. Holy buckets. But there's still 25 seconds and 3 timeouts for Bellarmine Prep. Big extra point here by Widman, waiting for the snap. Here comes the kick on the way. It's up, and it is good. We will take a break with 25 seconds to play in regulation time. The Lake Stevens Vikings 35 and the Bellarmine Prep Lions 28. Summers County Western Conference Football, Fox Sports 1380. Athletic director for the Lake Stevens School District has called the bus charter company about 6 times, Bill, in this fourth quarter. Cancel the order. No, we need him back now for the trip next week into the quarterfinals. Still 25 seconds to go, and it's been shown that Bellarmine Prep can be a big play team.
So Lake Stevens goes 80 yards in 3 plays, all through the air. A 22-yard touchdown pass, Connor Bardu to Jake Rasmussen. Widman's kick is good. And with 25 seconds left, it's Lake Stevens 35, Bellarmine Prep 28.
That scoring update brought to you by Glass by Lund, family-owned and operated since 1967, offering the best price, value, and quality installation online, glassbylund.com. High, wobbly kick. Thomas at the 10. Now he's going to toss it to Heron, who heads upfield, and he's going to be down to the 24-yard line. Tried a little razzle McDazzle. That did not work, and it's going to be 1st and 10 for Bellarmine Prep, and now they're just going to have to take a couple of shots down the field.
Yeah, and we'll definitely see the big prevent defense here for Lake Stevens. What a comeback after Bellarmine Prep took a 28-21 lead, and then got a pick going the other way, and Lake Stevens was able to hold on, and now it looks like Lake Stevens is going to call their final timeout.
Lake Stevens just wants, I think, Frank Foster, they just want to talk, it's going to be nickel, dime, quarter, 50 cent for the prevent defense.
Yeah, you put your defensive backs as deep as they can possibly go, and the rule of thumb, nothing, and nobody gets behind you.
So it's going to be, Bill's looking at his thumb now, so Bill looks at his thumb a lot, actually, with about 17.7 seconds to go. Vikings 35, Lions 28. Both teams gathered around their coaching staffs.
What resilience Lake Stevens has shown in this ball game. It's pretty remarkable.
Are we going to talk about a player of the game?
Well, that's a tough decision, but
let's go down to Frank. What you got?
I said I vote for the whole team.
Well, yeah, but we want to talk to one person. So we'll figure it out. We'll figure out a representative. 1st and 10. Back to pass. Looking. He throws it down. There's got a man, but it's incomplete. He was open too, Bill. He was wide open. Brown was wide open.
When Frank says that you don't let anybody behind you, the guy just got behind them. Brown had 3 yards on the guy, and the pass just was quite there. Wouldn't that have been a kettle of fish?
Wow. So we'll wait.
So Bellarmine Prep will call timeout with 11.7 seconds remaining.
So let's talk about who we want to have as the Frank. So if you want to do the whole team, but who's going to be their representative? Let's do that.
You know,
Rasmussen.
Connor Bardew has been the steady player out here, even though he probably wasn't on the absolute best part of his game tonight. But he stepped up when he had to, and since he's the quarterback, I would vote that he speaks for the team.
I would agree with that. And his last 3 pass attempts have been all completions and all over 25 yards.
Was one of those completed to the other team, though? I'm just saying. 2nd down, 10 yards to go at the 25-yard line. Back to pass. Looking, double pumps, throws, complete, and then buried as soon as he made the catch. It was caught upfield by Brown, and then he was just smothered by the defender and dropped for a 14-yard gain. They'll stop the clock to move the chains. 5.4 seconds to go, and Bellarmine will call their penultimate timeout.
And so they have 5 seconds remaining. I don't think that their quarterback, Christian Moore, can fire it into the end zone from this far away. So it's got to be some kind of a trick play, some kind of maybe an intermediate pass and a pitch back, or hook and ladder, which is always my favorite play, but teams never run anymore. But we will see if they have anything left up their sleeve.
So we will talk to let's wait 5.44 seconds before we talk about our player of the game. But here we go. 1st and 10, back to pass. Throws the ball. It's going to be complete, out of bounds. Brown makes the catch, steps out of bounds with 2.5 seconds to go. A 5-yard gain up the field to the 44-yard line.
And Brown now has 11 catches in the ball game for 123 yards.
And that was now using their final timeout. But if they hold on to win, and we do talk to Connor Bardew, Bill, talk about the highest of highs and the lowest of lows in the space of about 18 seconds.
Just unbelievable. And the plays that Jake Rasmussen did on those consecutive catches, that was incredibly impressive. And now Rasmussen was lined up on the all the way back at the 10-yard lines. He was 55 yards off of the line of scrimmage in that prevent defense.
Frank, let's get them both, Rasmussen and Bardew.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think they'll want to be with their teammates celebrating, but I'll do my best to get both of them.
Okay. In fact, we'll go to a break, go into the post-game show. We'll grab them in the post-game so we don't have to wait around. We'll get Tom Try right away.
Right, okay.
But you know what? Let's not talk about it until there's 2.5 seconds.
Watch for the California pitch, lateral.
Here we go. 2nd down and 5. Doesn't matter. Last play of the football game. Out of the shotgun is Moore. Drops back, looking, gets some pressure, throws it as far as he can down the field, into traffic. It's going to be knocked away, down, incomplete. The ball game is over, and Lake Stevens will move to the quarterfinals in the Class 4A with a 35-28 win over the Bellarmine Prep Lions. What a ball game.
Tremendous game, tremendous resilience. They didn't get 2 down after going behind. They didn't get 2 down after that interception was returned all the way back deep into their territory. The defense came up big in the fourth quarter, and then the offense, that 3-play, 80-yard drive, just absolutely unbelievable.
Let's take a break, and we'll come back on the postgame show and get our postgame interviews and all of our comments here. 35-28, Lake Stevens survives and advances with a win over Bellarmine Prep. Snohomish County Western Conference football on Fox Sports 1380 and STSPN.com.